Hello and welcome to episode 75 of Movies and Us. I am Marcus.
And I'm TJ.
And this is the movie review show that reviews genre movies from the beginning sometimes. And today, on episode 75, we have a special treat for you guys. We're not doing this movie, guys. We're not reviewing this movie. I'm kidding. And today we're reviewing the 2011 release of Thor. This movie was directed by Kenneth Branagh?
Sure.
No, before doing this, I did not reread any of these people's names, so bear with me, guys. Screenplay by Ashley Edward Miller, Zach Stentz, and Don Payne. What a great name that is. Did we do story by?
If there is one, normally.
Okay, story by J. Michael.
I just wanted you to have to say that name.
What is that? what was that, a joke? It's like a bunch of random letters. There's like two vowels, DJ, and a Y. And Strace? Okay, Strace.
Straczynski.
Straczynski?
I think the C is...
Nah, it's like Straczynski.
I think the C is silent. I think it's Straczynski.
That's ridiculous. Okay, what's his next name? Mark Protosevich?
Prolosevich.
Jesus. Yeah, those names, those guys. Produced by Kevin Feige. He's back, guys. He's going to be back for, like, ever. Starring a slew of names. We have Chris Hemsworth as Thor, Natalie Portman as Jane, Tom Hiddleston as Loki, Stellan Skarsgård as Professor Dr. Dude.
Eric
they say
Frederick.
Yeah, they say it was like twice. They have Colm
Fior.
That's a name. He plays Thor's friend 1. There's Ray Stevenson, plays Thor's friend 2. There's Idris Elba, who plays...
No, Colm Fior plays the Frost Giant King.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
Okay, he plays that. Ray Stevenson as Thor's friend 1.
Yeah,
Idris Elba.
Ray Stevenson, who was apparently Punisher, that I didn't realize.
Yes.
Looks nothing like him.
No, not at all. Well, that's great, right?
All right, so that's...
No, you're fine. Idris Elba as... Heimdall. Kat Dennings as Thor. Oh, that's the girl, college girl. Whatever her name is.
Kat Dennings, Darcy Lewis.
Yes. Renee Russo. Who the f*** does she play?
He's Thor's mom.
Yeah, the mother. Anthony Hopkins as Thor's dad. Odin. Let's go down to more casts.
Tadanuki Asado.
Thor's friend 2.
The Asian one.
Yes. Yes, Josh Dallas as the Thor friend with the lance
the
thing.
Swashbuckler.
Yes. Jamie Alexander as Thor's female friend.
Lady Sif.
That's it. And, oh, Jesus Christ. Clark Gregg as S.H.I.E.L.D. This was Phil Coulson.
Yep.
Maximiliano Hernandez as... Oh, he plays the guy who's Hydra later.
Yeah, he's the guy with the glasses.
Yes. And
he's the S.H.I.E.L.D. guy, yeah.
Jasper Sitwell. Adriana Isaac Cappy? Almost like Crappy. Isaac Cappy. Joseph Gatz. Douglas Tate. Stan Lee makes a cameo.
Joshua Cox, too, you skipped over.
Did I? Oh, I'm looking at the highlighted ones. Okay.
Stan Lee.
I said that. The Michael Straczynski guy.
Yep.
And Walter Simonson.
Mm-hmm. Samuel L. Jackson and Jeremy Renner.
Yeah. That's the starring cast, guys.
That's the cast. That's the entire cast.
Yeah.
It's a good cast, though.
Yeah, it's a strong cast, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, that's like one of the positives of this movie, is like the cast is spot on. Now, what they do with the characters is something else. For the cast, they got a good cast.
We're gonna disagree about this movie.
No, I don't think so. Maybe. I got feelings on this movie. Edited by Music Production. This movie was released April 17th in Sydney and May 6th in the United States of the 2011s. This has a runtime of 114 minutes. That's 2 hours and, what did I say? An hour 54, that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll think of the next movie again. This movie's budget was $150 million, and it grossed an astonishing $449.3 million. And that lands it in the top 15 box office, TJ. Let's do this.
Go ahead.
I did 10 through 1 last week, so I'm just doing 15 through 10.
Why? Is there something in 20 through 16?
Yep.
Okay.
That's exactly why.
Good.
So number 15, Thor.
Oh, there you go.
It's crazy. Like, this is like the first comic movie on the list and it did this low. It's just insane. What a time period.
It was before the hero renaissance came in.
Yeah. And we're at the curtail of all the other books endings or book endings, the young adult story movies becoming endings. At number 14, Rise of the Planet of the Apes. I think that's the last one they made of the remakes.
I have not seen any of the remakes.
They're generally not bad, actually. I like the originals a lot. I've seen all the originals, but I do like the remakes
I did see
more.
all the originals, but I have not seen any of the remakes.
They're good. We should watch those as not adding more to our plate, but they're good movies.
Yeah.
Rio is an animated bird singing movie. Came in
It
at 13.
vaguely sounds familiar.
It was popular at the time, so they pop music. Not boring. Number 12, Sherlock Holmes, Game of Shadows. I think that's the sequel with starring Robert Downey Jr.
Probably. I should get around to watching those movies.
They're okay.
Well,
I'm not a Sherlock Holmes fan, so I don't know if they're bad or good.
I'm a big Sherlock Holmes fan, so
Well,
I should make you watch a Sherlock Holmes movie.
I've seen those, the new ones, but I haven't seen the old.
The old Sherlock Holmes movies.
I've seen The Hounds of the Baskerville.
The one with Peter Cushing?
Yes. I watched it in school. It's all I could think of that I've seen Sherlock Holmes wise. They're not bad.
I got a couple of them.
Yeah, well, we're probably not going to watch those because we have to get through all these movies. Number 11 was Puss in Boots. It's like the first movie of the Shrek universe that's a spin-off of the Shrek movies. It's not bad. It's a pretty decent movie. And number 10 was Cars 2. And number 1 that year, don't forget guys, was Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2. So that's the top 15.
Slowly going up the list as we continue on with this year.
Yeah, next week we'll talk about the top 20, but until then, that's that. Behind the scenes talk. You have anything you want to talk about, TJ, behind the scenes wise?
Well, apparently a lot of the actors took this role because of Brennan.
Of the director. Yeah, let me just bring that up real quick. That they have, what's his name again? Kenneth Branagh?
Yeah.
As the director. And I just found that weird because he's an actor, normally an actor, but he's got a heavy Shakespearean theater background. He's done some Shakespearean movies, Othello and King Henry V.
And they also hired a bunch of Shakespearean trained actors in this. In fact, I was reading that they were using Shakespearean shorthand to speak and stuff in this. It's ridiculous. This is an actor's movie.
It shockingly is, which makes sense because I guess Asgard is kind of like that. I would guess.
I mean,
interpretations. I guess Hamlet. He also did Hamlet. I couldn't think of the other one. Oh, Much Ado About Nothing. He's done a lot of Shakespearean stuff. Murder on the Orient Express isn't Shakespeare, but is an actor kind of thing.
Another interesting thing is Chris Hemsworth actually had. I'm trying to figure out what exactly they said here. He auditioned for the role and then they dropped him.
Really?
Yeah, and then he came back I guess they went into talks. He came back for a second reading, and then he got the role.
I wonder why they dropped him because he was pretty charismatic in this, and he was pretty charming.
His brother, Chris Hemsworth's brother, actually auditioned for the role as well.
Yeah.
Also, so did Tom Hiddleston. They auditioned for Thor.
Famously.
So that was... I read why he did it. I just I can't find where it is.
Why Chris dropped?
Yeah, he was in negotiations to portray the title role after a back and forth in which he was refused early on, then given a second chance to read for the role. Yeah. Also, some guy named Kevin McKidd was also considered for the role of Thor. Yeah, a few other things that were interesting.
Natalie Portman wanted to play a character who was a strong female character. And
we'll get to that when we in the movie review itself. Because they changed the character.
They kind of shafted her, huh?
Not really.
I feel they shafted her, but no.
That's not really the story behind it, no. In fact, I didn't read anything where she felt she was shafted.
I'm putting what I saw into it, not what she thought. Yeah, no, I feel like she was not given due.
I don't know. There was a lot they had to do in this movie, so I thought what they did with her was fine.
Yeah, I think she could have been not in the movie, but fine.
So the other interesting thing I saw in here was I'm not sure what it is here. It says in the last sentence in one of the things on October 2008, Daniel Craig was offered the role, but ultimately turned it down, citing commitment to the James Bond franchise.
Good,
but I'm not sure what role he was offered because this is in the same thing as giving Kenneth Branagh the director's
Director.
role.
Maybe he was. I can see him being Loki, honestly. Maybe they want him as Thor. Who knows?
Yeah, but if you're going by the reading of this, it sounds like they offered him the director's role.
No, I know they didn't offer him that. I mean, they could have, but I just highly doubt that.
Yeah, I don't know. Also, they had Guillermo del Toro in talks for directing as well, and he wanted to do like a more gritty Norse mythology.
Oh wow, shocker!
Yeah.
Oh wow!
But he turned down the role instead to do The Hobbit.
You know what? Thank God he didn't do any of those. I'll tell you that. I'll tell you this: if he would have gotten hands on this would have been right up his alley, and this would not have been an okay movie. And he would love to have the brothers kill each other in it for sure. The family squabbles and shit.
Also, in 2009, Samuel Jackson saw that he was like in the what is it? The thing. If something, he was in the movie, but he wouldn't know it, so he called his agents like, "Am I in this movie?" And he's like, and they're like, "No," but he's like, "Damn, they're using my name. I got to get paid." And then, but I guess they didn't tell him he was in the after credit scene.
Okay,
so that's what that is. Also, there was controversy, stupid controversy, I might say, around the casting of Idris Elba.
Oh, because he's black?
Yes, it's exactly what it was.
Why do they keep changing the races, TJ? Why can't they stick to the characters?
I actually did not care about this one at all.
I never care about the character races. I just don't give a shit.
Like sometimes when it's a very famous character, it just doesn't make sense, especially if they haven't been portrayed on screen yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I can see that as almost as a comic purist. I'm like that, but this was just stupid.
Of course it is. People are real pissed about it. His candidate prompted a proposed boycott by the, get this, Council of Conservative Citizens. And a debate among comic book fans, some insisted it was wrong that a black man played a Nordic god. And I'm not gonna lie, like that's valid points. I can't argue. Like, yeah, it makes sense, I guess. At the same time, like, why not be angry at the Asian guy playing the Asian character, right?
It's ridiculous.
I mean, I know.
As just because he's a Nordic god doesn't mean his skin can't be black, and he's a god. Maybe he wanted to be black.
This is one of those arguments I couldn't care about.
It's imaginary things. It's so stupid.
Yeah. Like why? There's real world problems going on in the world. If you're gonna get your panties in a bunch over a character thing, go for it. That's your priorities. That's fine.
Like we've argued, I think, on the show.
Plenty of times
about this, and our opinions aren't really matching up.
No.
Here, but it's just this one was just so stupid.
Yeah, like I generally don't give a shit.
Like if it fits, it fits, and it fit fine here.
Yeah, like I know you're against them. Like I know you've brought up like them changing Superman black. If they did that, it'd be kind of like a no for you. Me, I wouldn't give a shit.
No, my thing is if they turn Clark Kent black.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That
Clark
makes
Kent's
no sense. There can be a black Superman. There is a black Superman.
That's gross.
A perfectly suitable black Superman that they could use. It bothers me. They have characters. Use the characters. Stop trying to cash in on the names, and it bothers me.
But the money, TJ, the money.
Yeah, I know. That's why it bothers me, because it's not all about the stupid money.
Yes, they gotta make him black, queer, trans, and a furry. They gotta do all the extreme shit to make money.
They have a queer Superman now too.
But it's gotta be a black queer though, and maybe a female. You're definitely trans. They gotta do all that, TJ.
They have a female Superman too.
See, I sound like I hate the liberals when I'm saying it like this, but I hate the approach the companies take to. That's the thing. I hate the money part. My objection
to it is mostly they have the characters. Just use the characters that match what you want.
No, because the name's not there.
I know, and that's what bothers me.
So
those characters, I would like to see those characters on the big screen.
No one's asking for them. They want to take Superman, put him blackface. There we go.
It's stupid. I hate
Hollywood, man. Isn't it great?
Hollywood don't even have a put in charge of a product they have nothing about. It's so stupid. Then they change it, and I wonder why it bombs.
Why did they like it? All the test audiences who we had to spoon feed the information to liked it. Why did most people like it? Anyways, any other stupid controversies?
Not controversies, no.
No.
Not that I can see. And this movie won a couple of awards.
Did it?
Yeah.
I see that Saturn Awards for Best costume.
And then
Best sci-fi fantasy of 2012.
And then best male newcomer and Tom Hiddleston.
No, they called that one for sure. They definitely called that.
They called that? What do you mean?
Best newcomer. He's like a household name now. Granted, I guess it's because of Thor, or like, I don't know how you want to.
Oh, I didn't even realize. Was this one of his earliest films?
Yes.
I didn't realize that.
This movie won up against Captain America: The First Avenger. This won up against Rise of the Planet of the Apes, Super 8, and X-Men First Class.
Okay. What did I have to do with what I just said?
Best super sci-fi fantasy movie.
Oh, okay.
That's what it won against. So I was like, is it better than those guys?
What were the movies?
Captain America: First Avenger.
I actually
Rise.
think that one's better than this one.
Yeah, I think most of these are. I think, and there's Rise of the Planet of the Apes, which I do enjoy those movies.
I can't judge. I haven't seen that.
There's Super 8. I don't think that's a good movie at all.
I haven't seen it.
And X-Men First Class, which also I think is better than Thor.
That's a good movie too. I have to rewatch it to.
Exactly. We're going to. You're good.
I've seen Captain America, the first one, enough to know that one is better though.
I would say at least two of these guys are better than Thor, but who knows? It's awards. It's Hollywood awards. Who cares?
I think that's everything behind the scenes.
Look at next year's winner, 2013, Hobbit, an Unexpected Journey won over Dread, Looper, Prometheus, and the Avengers. How'd that win over the Avengers? How did the Hobbit, TJ?
Because of its name brand, you know. Exactly.
I know. But
you
literally,
know why.
Dread's so much better. Looper is a time travel movie, so that sucked. Prometheus is another bad movie. But Avengers, the $1 billion movie that united heroes, that made all the nerds orgasm multiple times in that movie.
I don't know why Avengers is even classified as a sci-fi movie, though. That's the Alien Invasion one. Okay.
I mean, they're all sci-fi, though. It was category sci-fi fantasy.
Yeah, but sci-fi fantasy.
Yes, sci-fi fantasy.
I gotcha.
Yes.
I gotcha.
They have literally 2013, 2014, the Hobbits movies win.
It's all politics, you know how it is.
That's bullshit. It's then 2015.
They're still trying to. They're still trying to make those Hobbit movies the next Lord of the Rings.
How the f*** in 2016 did the Star Wars: The Force Awakens win?
Because it was a good movie.
It was a remake of a damn.
But it was a competent Star Wars movie after.
It's competent because it remade the damn good one. That's what it like. You can't make it good.
But it showed that you could still have a good Star Wars movie.
Yeah, if you touch the same old material over and over again, that doesn't make it good.
It was just that movie needed to be a remake like that, just to show that they can still be Star Wars.
I agree because it did revitalize the franchise to what it is now, for better or for worse. But come on, it lost. I mean, it won against Jurassic World, not a good movie. It won against Hunger Games: Mockingjay Part 2. Not a good movie. But it won against Mad Max Fury Road. That's like my favorite movie of the past 20 years, TJ. And The Martian, which is a good adaptation of a story, of a book.
I didn't see either one of those movies.
What the f***, man? Sorry. This is not Empire Awards for Best Sci-Fi Fantasy Movie Podcast.
Yeah, I know. And why do you care?
Wonder Woman won in 2018 over Blade Runner in 2042 and Logan. It won over Logan and Thor Ragnarok. Oh, because it's a female-led movie, so it's got to be better than the other ones.
Can I ask you something?
What's up?
Have you even heard of the Empire Awards before this?
No, I haven't.
Then why do we care?
I'm just showing people how much of a joke awards are.
We know how much of a joke it is.
Such bullshit. Like you said, it's politics and it's just favoritisms and the Razzies are the worst.
Whoever paid the most money or gave them the most press at the time. That's all it is.
I know. I'm getting angry about that. This has no meaning to my life at all. Anyways, what else you want to talk about?
Well, I got some trailers.
Oh, what were your trailers?
Let's see. I got a trailer for, what was it called? I don't have my notes in front of me. You kind of put me on the spot.
You should always be ready for my randomness, TJ. Quick, who won the third presidential election?
The third presidential election?
Yes. You should know this. Come on. Chop. No Googling.
I'm not. I'm trying to remember. George Washington, John Adams? Was it John Adams?
No. God, you're off. Thomas Jefferson, man. Get it right.
Thomas Jefferson.
I had to Google this, so don't worry.
I thought Thomas Jefferson was the second president.
Was America? I said third president. Who was the third and fourth president?
Yeah, I thought Thomas Jefferson was two. Was he two?
No, he's three.
Who's two?
I don't fucking know. Second president of the United States is, drumroll please, John Adams.
I was close.
You were close.
I got Jefferson and Adams confused.
Who was first then? I'm kidding. If you could tell me number is 9, I will give you a high five.
Number 9?
Yes. Or no, I'm not number 9. I'm sorry, number 8. You can do number 9 if you want, but definitely number 8. I want number 8.
Can you give me a year?
Year served was 1837 through 1841.
37 to 41. Number 8?
Yes.
1837. God damn it. I want to say, I know I'm wrong, but the name that's popping in my head is Quincy Adams.
No, it's not Quincy Adams. Quincy Adams was number 6. He was their 6th president.
Ah.
Number 8 was Martin Van Buren.
Van Buren, all right.
Yeah. And that was
hey, I'm at least got names within the territory, you know.
Yeah, for sure. You didn't say like Abraham Lincoln or something like that. Something
no, Abraham Lincoln was 16, I think.
Yes. You didn't say anything like post Civil War. So I'm proud of you. Anyways, people who are probably not even Americans listening to this, did you find your trailers?
Yeah, I have my trailers in front of me.
What you get, TJ? What you got?
I got a trailer for the video game Thor: God of Thunder.
Wait, isn't that a movie?
No, it's a PlayStation 3, Xbox 360 video game.
Oh,
it actually didn't look too bad, honestly, like graphically.
Oh, okay.
Because they had the actual actors' likeness and stuff.
That's pretty cool. I like when you do that kind of shit.
And then I got a trailer for Captain America: First Soldier.
First Soldier?
Isn't that what it's called?
First Avenger.
Why did I write Soldier?
Because it could be the game, I guess.
No, it was the movie.
Oh, so it's First Avenger.
No, whatever.
Maybe because you're thinking Winter Soldier, like I want to watch that one instead.
Maybe. I like the first Captain America movie.
Yes, you do.
The first, I don't know why I'm saying the first, Super 8.
Okay.
Which we've talked about like all these movies.
I feel like I know. I mean, I just mentioned it in the
yeah, I know.
Awards.
And Transformer Dark of the Moon. Those are my trailers for the Thor DVD that I have.
What a very 2000s trailers.
I mean, we're in 2011 now, so past the 2000s.
I'm so proud of us, guys. We're slowly trudging. God, there's so much to go through.
We're only 75 movies in.
I think there's like 75 movies in phase 1 and 2 and 3, TJ. It's just Marvel. Okay. Is that it?
I think that's it. I think it's time to go into the movie itself.
Yay!
Which I am not looking forward to.
Really?
Yeah, this is a new superhero introduced, so there's a lot of comic stuff I got to get into.
It's a lot of shit. I'm going to zone out when we were talking. Fantastic. So, ladies and gentlemen, we start with the Marvel flip, and we start in space. The camera's pointing to space, but we slowly tilt down to a van full of Puerto Antiguago, New Mexico. I don't know what that is. And in this van, we have our researchers. We were introduced to the 3 main Earth characters. We have is Professor, or was he?
Professor Eric Selvig. Dr. Everett. So I think he was a teacher too. So
that's what I thought. Yeah, I just kept calling him Professor.
I think he's
his
both.
title is. Yeah, so old white guy. We have Jane Foster, pretty girl, and college student, whatever her name is.
Kat Dennings.
Her character name, no idea.
What is it? Darcy.
Darcy, that's it. And they are out there.
So before you continue on,
yes,
Eric Selvig, Darcy Stevens, made for this movie.
Pointless.
Practically every other character from the comics.
We have practically every other character from the comics, but these 2 aren't.
Yes.
Okay.
So I think they made them just to give Jane side characters.
That's fair. And honestly, they're not like terribly bad in this movie.
No, they're fine. It's just they're like. I guess we can't have her talk to herself. So
yeah.
Okay.
You're good. I will say it later.
I was just gonna bring up that brings us to Jane Foster, who has been wildly changed from the comics because in the comics she's a nurse, not an astrophysicist.
Yes.
So I don't know why they made that change, but they turned her into a brilliant scientist instead of a nurse, which I mean,
either way, I guess.
Well, nurse is kind of stereotypical from the 60s and 70s. It's a female role, No,
I get that, but it's like that the profession doesn't really matter, I guess, in my opinion.
Well, I mean, at the same time, it does matter because as an professor as an astrophysicist, she's got genius level intellect, which she wouldn't have had in her other role.
Well, they still could have crossed paths. Is what I'm saying. Like, I guess, like,
oh well, yeah, they would have crossed paths. But
I don't think. I won't say it now. her character's pointless in this movie. Like, I don't think her genius level intellect doesn't matter in this movie.
Oh no, like
it doesn't come into play ever. So like her being a nurse or a physicist or anything else, her title doesn't come into play, so it doesn't matter. She as long as Thor runs into her.
The point of her character, and honestly the point of a lot of things in this, is to establish the universe.
Yes. That's why I don't like this movie. But yes.
There is a lot of establishing of the Marvel Cinematic Universe as a whole.
Yes, there really is. Like watching it now after watching all the first after what would you? It's a phase. When did the Avengers Infinity War end? What phase? Endgame is that phase 2 or 3?
That's 3.
So after watching all of those phases in phase 3, after watching that whole saga of these movies, and then coming back to this, you see like, oh, they're introducing all these things. It's cool. It's like watching Game of Thrones seasons 1, 2, and 3, and one before you get to the end. Like, oh, this is who all these connections. It's cool. It's cool.
It is. I did like that. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like I was fanboying out, like but like not knowing where it's going, and like just watching it as like this movie's like, who cares what's all this mean currently? It's like I feel like these I'm gonna say it now. The actors are fantastic. They're great at their jobs. These actors are phenomenal. The casting's great, but most of these characters, as characters, are just pointless. You don't care about them when they're in danger or whatever they're doing. They're just faces. It's like I don't care about these characters right now.
Again, we're establishing stuff here.
Yeah, but they're not establishing in a good way for character's sake.
Well, not for a single movie. No, but like there's a lot of stuff in here that is for comic book fans in general of the series Thor. Yes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like you said, going back and seeing the connections for the MCU as a whole, it's just definitely a setup movie.
Yes, but I think that's a fault for this movie.
Yeah.
But I guess if we're like since we're doing this comic book review, are we judging these movies as movies, or are we judging them as a whole at that point?
I think.
Because these movies are produced in a way, made in a way to be like, this is a 20-year story.
I think Iron Man and Iron Man 2 you could judge as a movie. Yeah. Those movies by themselves. I even think Hulk is, even though there's ties and setup here, but right now we're into the phase where they only made this Thor and this next Captain America movie to set up Avengers.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
We have characters that are going to be in that movie.
I think we have to judge this movie and Captain America and Avengers as a 3-part series.
I think it's stuff though. I'm not going to I will probably still judge it harshly as a singular movie.
Well, I'm just saying, I think we're going to have to judge it that way, but we can also judge it as a movie on its own, but I think we would have to do both to quantify.
Yes. I do agree, because they're so interwoven now, or you can see the footwork of it becoming a truly interwoven story.
Right. And that makes the movie way more interesting. Also
way weaker too.
I mean, but
I'm being like a cynic on that part. Like, you're being an optimist, and I respect that. Like, because it is way more interesting. Like, we know where it's going.
But like, I'm looking at it as if I was writing this story as a book. You know what I mean? This would be like the first chapter.
Yes. Or maybe chapter.
Or it's like second or third chapter in the book. So it's like, it's not going to hold up on its own, but it's not supposed to be either.
Well, it kind of should be, though. I guess it holds up enough.
It holds up enough within its own story. It does tell you the story of Thor and his brother, and why he is who he is and what he needs to do to become an Avenger. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And as the story within the movie itself is fine, but there's a lot of other threads that are there to expand the universe. Mm-hmm. So it's like there's a story for the movie, and then there's another story for the universe going on.
And I mean, I'm sorry, that just brings so much conflict to me. Like, as a just a cynical, critical son of a bitch. It's just like, it's good for the whole universe, but like the movie by itself is like, yeah.
I don't know. It's hard to judge it now with fresh eyes, as if this was a movie not connected.
Yeah. Like, I honestly, I don't know how I feel about it if this is if this is the most current one.
Because when I think back on this movie, watching it for the first time, I remember, this is a fish out of water story. But rewatching it, those elements aren't really there at all. There's like 2 or 3 moments of fish out of water, and that's it.
I hate to agree with you, but I was coming in dreading, like, here we go. But it's like, you're right. Like, oh, this isn't as bad as I remember. It isn't as, oh, isn't this weird? I'm here. Like, oh, it's that's not really a big part of this movie.
No, it's literally like 2 or 3 scenes,
Yeah.
and then it's like, oh, okay, I was completely wrong, misremembered how this movie
Yes.
was. So I don't know. Like, so it's hard to judge it because I thought it was one way, but it's not.
Yeah, and it's better than I remember. Like, oh, this is not as dreadful as I remember. Not good, but it isn't as dreadful as I remember. This makes me think of like the current stuff being released on Disney Plus and shit like that. They seem random now, but I wonder in like a year, 5 years, X amount of years future, like how they will intertwine that continuity now.
Yeah,
which obviously they are planning, but because we see the fans, oh, this is bad, and why would they do this? And the character is pointless. But I want to see how Marvel and the execs there are like, no, guys, just wait, give it some time.
I just watched She-Hulk.
Okay.
And Daredevil shows up.
Yes,
so
yes.
It's like, okay, so obviously this is tying into his show and stuff like that.
Exactly.
Because it's a spoiler, but it's not a big spoiler. They're him and She-Hulk are kind of a thing by the end of that series.
Yes.
So
I saw the big spot. I didn't watch the show, but I saw some of the big plot twists get spoiled. Like, oh, cool, I guess. But yeah, I just want to see where they take the stuff and how well they make it look like they planned. Yeah, make it look like how they planned it to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jane Foster. What else about her?
I mean, she was a nurse, but I don't want to dive too far into her history until we get to Thor himself.
Okay. So back on Earth, we have Jane, the professor, and college girl. They're studying the stars. They're looking at an anomaly.
They've been tracking an anomaly essentially, and they've been able to predict it up precisely up until this, like the second, and up until this point.
Say that word.
Anomaly.
Anomaly.
I'm
not saying it right. Spell that. ANO.
Yeah, it's anomaly. MALY.
Anomaly.
Yes.
That's not right. Anomaly.
I probably spelled that wrong, though.
Anomaly. There we go. I'm saying it right now. It took me 20 tries. Anomaly. Yeah, there's an anomaly. I can't say it. There's an anomaly. What a dumb word.
There's an aurora up in the sky.
Yeah, I can say that word. Aurora. There's an aurora. I'm sorry. Yeah, there's some fuckery going on in the sky, and they're like, oh, what's that shit up there, guys? It's like, oh, let's go track it because that's what we're doing. And so they go look at it. And the sky beam hits the Earth, and they're like, whoa! And they hit somebody, a person. Who was it? Who knows? We'll see when we flash back to it, guys. And then we go to credits. Now we get opening dialogue. We get Odin's talking to Thor.
We go back
Loki.
to like 9:38.
Yeah, I wrote down the date, but it doesn't matter. But yeah, we get Odin telling Loki and Thor a story of how Asgard was found, the gods, and how they have anger and they don't trust the Frost Giants. Those are their enemies. And how people will always...
Exhibition!
Yes. It's kind of pretty. I mean, this is the trend, because they do this in Black Panther and some of the other movies. Because you got to tell the audience what's going on.
You know, it's just the war of how the Odin defeated the Frost Giants.
Yeah, it's pretty cool stuff.
And how they got their hands on the Tesseract,
yes.
Right? So how they got their hand on the Tesseract. So, 2 things that are different from the comics. 1, Frost Giants never had the Tesseract. That's added to start to establishing the Infinity Stones in this universe. And 2, Odin didn't lose his eye in a battle with the Frost Giants. He actually sacrificed it to drink from this well. I don't remember. I don't know what the well was for. I didn't go.
Wait. Is this for? Okay. Are you talking about Marvel Odin or Greek or
Marvel Odin?
Okay.
I didn't go into. I'm not go into Norse mythology.
Okay, so you're talking about Marvel shit only,
right? I mean, okay. I know I'm pretty well versed in Nordic mythology too, but there's no point because they changed a lot from the comic versions of it. Because honestly, Thor is kind of a dick in actual Nordic mythology.
It's kind of a dick in this.
He's like just kind of stupid too. Like, yep. I mean, they kind of get that here in this, but like, it's the same deal with like Hercules in Greek mythology. He's not the greatest guy in the world in the actual myths. So,
but Marvel speaking, is that what else has changed?
Oh, with Thor or Odin? No, it was just those 2 things from the war things that I wanted to bring up. The Tesseract it was just in here to establish those stones in the MCU, and then Odin's eye wasn't lost in the battle. In the comics, he, like I said, he sacrificed it to some well for some reason. I'm not a huge Marvel comics reader, so I do a lot of research when I go into it. So
You nerd.
like into the characters and stuff
Yeah.
when I go into it. Like the only Thor comic I actually read in preparation was the first one.
Okay.
But then the rest of it, I did like, Wikipedia and like a bunch of other sites to find out like the histories, the general broad strokes of stuff like that.
That's fair. So as Odin is telling Thor and Loki the story, we see the kids become from children to adults, I guess. Whatever.
Well, it also shows that, they have the Tesseract too.
Yeah, Odin took over the Tesseract.
So I'm going to bring it up now.
It's left in the vault, yeah?
Do they ever show how the Tesseract gets to Asgard from Earth?
What do you mean?
Because isn't it the Tesseract the big MacGuffin in the next movie?
In the Avengers, yes.
No, the Captain America.
Oh, is it? I guess it is, huh?
Yeah.
We're going to find out, TJ. I don't know.
Because...
No, is it? I know it's in this.
Because the Tesseract...
The Red Skull wants it, right?
Yeah, he gets it he's after it in 1942.
That's going to be continuity with us discussing that movie. This movie set it up here.
Because but my point is,
yeah,
in 1942, it got sunk into the ocean at the end of that movie,
yes.
Correct?
Sure.
And in 2012, they fish it out of the bottom of the ocean or whatever. Samuel L. Jackson does it. But in 2011, it's on Asgard. Am I wrong?
Again, as of right now, this continuity of this movie says it's been in Asgard since then.
Okay,
So
I know.
I'm going to go with this. We can definitely poke holes in the next movie because that's a valid point. I'm trying to but maybe they bring it up.
Okay,
I don't think they do. I don't think they do.
Because it's been bothering me since I seen the after action scene in this one.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, what? That doesn't make sense. Why? So maybe they do explain it, but I can't remember for the life of me if they do it or not.
I don't think they do. They must. There must be some scene where Nick Fury says so. No, because I don't know. We'll find out.
Okay.
It's a good question. But as of right now, it's here in Asgard since 1900. Or, 900 AD.
Yeah.
So, good question.
It said 938 CE, I think it said.
It was AD. It was AD.
Was it AD? You sure?
Yeah. Yep. Norway. It was like 956, 965. I wrote it on my notes because I was like, that's a date we should probably know.
Okay, if you say so.
Yeah, it was AD. So the Tesseract's safe in a vault in Asgard for now. And we get to Thor's confirmation day. Thor is being sworn in as king by Odin. Or is it going to be? But Odin senses something. He senses this foul play in the vault. There's ice giants down there. And he hits his staff on the ground, which activates a big laser guy, a big bodyguard
The
thing.
Destroyer.
That's what it's called?
Yeah, it's called the Destroyer. It's a suit of armor Odin created. It looks exactly like it does from the comic, which is pretty cool.
It's a pretty cool design.
And there's not really much history out of it. Essentially, Odin created it. Loki used it to fight against Thor. Same old. So a lot of this movie is a pure adaptation from the comics. So there's different plot lines and different things taken from the comics and just thrown in here.
Yeah.
But it's just a pure movie adaptation. So
I'm cool with that. I like that. So yeah, Odin activates that to kill off the frost giants. He kills the frost giants, and Loki, Odin, Loki, and Thor go down to check the vault, see what they're going after.
Why doesn't he kill the frost giant king?
Who?
Odin.
Because there's got to be a semblance of peace between those two.
Yeah, and kill the old king and make peace with the new king. Because
he will be a maniacal slaughtering monster.
After he murdered how many frost giants up to that point? You take out the leader too. That's I always hate that. You kill all the minor guys who have families and stuff, and then you get to the boss, I'm not like you.
What? I'm not going to kill innocents.
You just killed all his henchmen, but the main bad guy you're not going to kill? What?
Their families have no fathers now, you monster.
So, it always bothered me. You kill the king, and then you establish a new leader, and you make a deal with him.
That's logical, TJ. And he doesn't want his people to think he's crazy and bad, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, so Odin stops the siege, and Thor has some choice words. Father, we should go revenge and attack them now. Pretty much what TJ just said. We should slaughter them, and blah, blah, blah. And Loki's just watching him and Odin go at it, and Odin's like, no, We cannot do that. I am the king still. Your words are weak and nothing right now. So that's
based on Thor's reaction here, why did Odin ever think he was ready to be king?
I don't know. And that's okay. That's another thing about this movie. This movie just jumps from one scene to another, and I feel like it yada yadas over a lot of stuff. It's like that's my thing, TJ. Like, I feel like everything in Asgard could have been the movie. This first section could have been the movie, and like they could have delved into the characters more and gave us more of these people.
Maybe, but
and I think the Asgard's parts are great.
Honestly, I found the Asgard stuff a little boring.
No. I love the Shakespearean shit, and I think visually it was pretty, and it's like you could see the motivation and where it leads to in the future.
All the Asgard stuff felt like exposition to me.
Because it was rushed. Because they had like, okay, here's all this shit. I think if it was I get a chance to breathe and be like 45 minutes or an hour worth of just that, we could have gotten like, okay, character development, why these characters feel these way, not because they're telling us they feel these way, and we could have got more of his friends, and like when his friends get in danger, oh no, not Thor friend 1, I know your name now because I should care about you, not like, oh, they got hurt.
To be fair, it seemed like when I looked up the Heroes 3,
yeah,
like the 3 male friends, there wasn't much on them, so they seemed like afterthoughts in the
of course
too.
I think the movie should have done something.
Lady Sif is a bigger part in the comics than in this.
Give her something, yeah. It's just, I don't know, mom and dad.
They were like a item, Thor and Sif.
Perfect.
Like beforehand.
I love to see some of that.
So
there's just a lot of things this movie could have done. I also felt Asgard was empty. Like, we get the main people, and that's about it. We never see anyone walking in the streets. It's like later in the movies, but in this movie,
I'm looking at a whole crowd of people right now at the coronation.
That's the only time you see them. Trust me, the rest of the movie, I've been looking like, why does Asgard feel weird? Like, oh,
there's a guard right there.
There's some guards. Trust me, like, there's not much people after this. That's like, they spent the budget on this shit, and like, okay, that's enough.
That's why the rest of the movie took place in a desert.
Yep. Yes. It's just, this movie feels so empty because, like, I get it, but it's like, damn.
Oh, that was another behind the scenes things. I think it was Branagh, the guy who came in as the director, came in and rewrote the original script because the original script was going to be $350 million. He had to get it down to $150 million.
Yeah. And I get it. Like, budgets, I get it. Like, so I'm going to harp on it for that reason. But I do think most of the set design for Asgard is still beautiful. Anyway, so as Thor's angry from his dad's decision not to do Thor's anger, Thor goes up to the table in the dining hall and just sulks. But Loki shows up and talks stuff into his brother's ear, saying, "Hey, bro, you're kind of right. You're justified in your anger." Loki's being Loki, just like planting seeds of bad things in people's heads to make them think they thought things. And he's hyping up Thor to go to Jotunheim to attack the Frost Giants and make what was wrong right. So Thor's like, we should do that. Friends, let's go do this. And the friend's like, no. But like, Thor's like, we're doing this. And the friends are like, sure, bro, we're behind you because this is the squad. So they go.
This was stupid.
What was stupid?
The 5 of them going up against a million Frost Giants. I don't care how strong you are.
Again, if they would have showed us them being strong, like, and having like chemistry,
maybe if you took
like
a battalion of Asgardians with
that, yeah. I think the movie should have focused on that kind of stuff. And like, okay, we get why he's doing this terribly stupid suicidal thing.
Like, his motivation's fine. He's a stupid, angry person.
Yes,
it's fine, whatever. But like the 5 of them going into not only don't take on 1,000 Frost Giants, but in their home.
Yeah, in an enemy territory.
Much.
This is suicidal, but whatever.
This is a party wipeout without a doubt.
So they cross the Rainbow Bridge and they go to the black guy. What's his name?
Heimdall.
And Heimdall let us through. He's like, I know where you're going.
Loki tries to talk to him first.
Loki does? Oh, Loki's trying to be, use a silver tongue.
Let me handle this.
And Heimdall's like, I see you're trying to lie to me, Loki. And so Thor's like, okay, is this Thor who says something?
Yeah, he says, are you going to let us pass? And Heimdall's like, no, never before. No one's gotten past my defenses. I want to know how. So he lets them go by.
Is this where? Okay, yeah, never mind. Next line coming up. Yeah. So yeah, let them go. Heimdall lets them go begrudgingly, but he just warns them. If they're in trouble, I will not open my gates back up until the trouble's clear. Pretty much like how they do in video games. If there's enemies in this area, we cannot progress the story. And so Heimdall lets them go. And they end up in the Frost Giant area. And they go talk to the Frost Giant King. And the king and them have words. The king says, there's a traitor in Odin's family. That's how we got in. Thor's like, don't talk evil on my family's name. I would have you killed here, blah, blah, blah. And the Frost Giant's like, leave now before I kill you all. And actually Thor's like, sure, you got it. Everyone, let's get out of here. And one of the Frost...
Well, Loki kind of convinces him to leave.
Well, Loki does, huh? Okay, yeah. So Loki convinces Thor and his friends to go back home before they get in a fight. And as they're leaving, because Thor shockingly says, yeah, let's get out of here. One of the frost giants says to Thor, "Head home, princess," or something like that.
Yes.
And that's just Trader's still like, great, I can murder you guys now. Murder hobo time.
It was a good moment. It was just like, go home, princess, and then you just see Loki say, damn. And
Yep.
that was it.
And then we see their fighting styles. Every character has their unique fighting style and what they do. And things like that. And during this fight, we established they have the frost giants. If they touch you, they give you like a ice rash. What's it called? Frostbite.
Frostbite.
Yeah. And so be careful. Don't let them touch you. So when the characters get touched, he gets frostbite. Loki gets touched. Nothing happens. Wait, what?
Well,
nothing happens to Loki?
Something happens.
His skin turns to blue, but not frostbite blue, like frost giant blue. Weird. We'll come back to that later. And so Thor kills a lot of things. And so one of the guys looks like he dies, but he doesn't die here. And I was thinking to myself, damn, if he would have died here, I wish I would have cared because I don't know who this character is. And that's why I was thinking, like, I need more development for these characters for me to care. Because if they all want to die here, I would not give a shit.
Yeah, I mean, I get it, but I think that wasn't the point.
I know. Yes. And it wasn't, so I'm not going to write the story in my head.
So I didn't go into this scene thinking, oh, someone's going to die. I was like, oh, this is just, more setup.
No, but like the guy got ice spiked or something like that. Like, oh shit, his friend just died.
He got wounded. The whole point is they're in over their head and they need to be saved.
But that ice spike looked like that was fatal. I was like, oh, he's not dead.
Hit him in the shoulder.
It looked like him in his stomach. Like in the torso area.
It said it showed him in his shoulder.
Let me see that again. It doesn't matter. And it hit him in a weird spot. And they're like, let's get out of here, guys. Jeez, zoinks. And as they get out, they kind of there's a big creature getting out of frost ice shit and it's chasing them. Kind of not chasing them. So they get to where they landed and like, hey, Heimdall, let us back. And he doesn't respond. Like, why is he not responding? And that big creature shows up in front of them. He's like, I'm going to kill you. I'm a big creature. Roar.
It doesn't talk, by the way.
It doesn't. And Thor's like, oh, I got something for you. Let me twirl my hammer. And he just flies through the creature's head like a bullet. And there's blood everywhere. It's like, wow, they just murdered something very graphically in front of us. I was not expecting that.
Yeah, oh yeah, CGI monster. Ooh.
No, but like for this movie, like they don't do that in these movies. They don't kill something like that. Like he literally threw the thing's head. There's a little some blood. Like wow,
they kill monsters all the time.
Like what? Like that?
Oh, you didn't see the new Doctor Strange movie. That's right.
Never mind. No, I didn't. Yeah, okay. See, so I'm saying like in the first 3 phases up until Infinity War, they don't really kill things like this.
They killed like half the cast in the Endgame.
Yeah, for sad value, but like you don't see the heroes killing creatures like this.
I think there's a lot of creatures that get killed in all the Thor movies.
I guess the Thor movies, huh?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure in all the Thor movies. Anytime there's a giant monster that they can't speak in the Thor movie, it gets killed.
That's animal cruelty. So they kill that, and they still can't leave because, oh no, all the ice giants are around them. Oh no, and they're about to get their asses handed to them, and oh no, who shows up? It's Odin through the because Heldum sends him, and Odin's there is like, hey guys, what the f? You're a frost giant guy. King, not cool. Frost Giant's like, your son came here. There's war ahead of us now. This is your guys' shit problem. And Odin's like, he makes a truce, kind of, right? Like, no. Odin arrives, talks to Giant.
He pretty much says, the Frost Giant's like, hey, he's gonna get what he came here for, and Odin's like, no, he's not, and like blows him away with light, and then he takes his kid and goes home.
See, like you said, like, why doesn't he just kill all of them? Like, I know he's not gonna do genocide, but he can easily do genocide right there. It's just like, there's not a problem anymore. Like, he's so powerful right there.
I don't know why he doesn't kill them. He doesn't want to start a war, I guess.
But he could kill like most of the army. He could like cripple them so badly. It's just like, yeah, those people aren't a problem anymore.
So, hold on. I just thought of this.
Yeah.
There's no Rainbow Bridge in Jotunheim, right?
No.
Why do they care? It doesn't look like they can leave their freaking shitty planet. What difference does it make?
They care because establish how they got there.
Oh,
there's a traitor.
There's a traitor.
Yeah.
But like, okay,
that's why they never cared in the first place, but now they care.
Yeah, now they care because they got here. But okay, sure.
That's the whole part of this whole first act.
Yeah, I know. It's still, there's a traitor in there. We should be focused on finding who the traitor is.
Well, they didn't know that until they went.
But you're asking why they don't kill everybody. It's because he knows that they're helpless and they gotta focus on the traitor.
Wait, what?
Odin doesn't.
That. Yeah, well, Odin doesn't know there's a traitor yet, or maybe he does, but like Thor now knows for sure because the guy told him.
Right.
I don't know
Maybe
if
Odin
Odin-
probably knows. Well, not.
Does he?
No, he doesn't. He doesn't.
Yeah.
He might think there's a traitor, but he definitely doesn't know who it is.
No, not at all.
I don't know. Whatever.
Anyway, so Odin bitch slaps the Ice King for the most part. Ice King.
That's Adventure Time.
Who's the one in Night King?
The Night King.
Game of Thrones.
Oh, yeah, that's Game of Thrones.
Yeah. This is the giant. Ice Giant. Okay. So Odin bitch slaps Ice Giant.
Frost Giant.
Frost Giant. Whatever. Bad blue guy. And
you act like you've never played D&D before.
Oh, this is straight D&D, and I love it. Like the murder hobo part. Like, yep, that's what a crew does in D&D, all right. Kick in the door, act tough, try to leave, and just wait for an excuse to kill everyone. So they go back. Our Asgardian friends go back to Asgard. And Odin is not happy. He is livid with Thor. It's like, Thor, you disrespected me, put your friends in danger, blah, blah, blah. I strip you of all your stuff. You're no longer... Oh, he says this. This is where he keeps repeating.
Yeah, this is where, you don't want to say the speech?
What speech? You want to say the speech? Is there a speech?
I don't remember the exact words. The speech he whispers into the hammer.
Oh, no, I didn't write it down because I figured... I guess it's important, huh? I mean, I guess it's like a memorable thing.
It's kind of the plot of the whole movie.
No, I don't mean important, but I guess like it's very like a big thing, like people will quote. Hold on. Odin strips Thor of rankings, declares him unworthy. That's the word, unworthy. It kept saying like 20 times. You're unworthy, takes away powers, curses him, tosses him Mjolnir. He says something. Oh, I did write it down. How'd you know me, TJ? Only he who is worthy may hold it and possess Thor's powers. I didn't write the word for it, but yeah, that happens. And so he banishes Thor to Earth.
And then he throws the hammer after him.
Yes. And now we're back.
Now we're back at the beginning.
Yeah, isn't that a fun trope, guys? We're 30 minutes into it, and we're back to the... I kind of hate that. I just hate that. And I get like how I should set these characters up for... I don't know. I hate this Earth shit, man. I hate the Earth shit. Like,
well, see, I don't like the trope either, but I understand it in this instance because if you don't have it here, you don't have Natalie Portman in the movie, for 30 minutes?
Not even that. It's just like, you kind of have to set them up in the beginning, so like when they land...
exactly. You have to set up the future, Earth cast, unless he has someone there,
Because if you do all the Asgard stuff first, and then they jump to here, like it just gets right into the action like that. Like if you did the beginning right after that, it kind of slows it down. So I get why they did the thing they did.
Yeah. So I get it. It's still a stupid trope, though.
Yes. And so he gets to Asgard. She gets hit. Thor lands on Earth, crashes to Natalie Portman in the van and her group, and he's like, "Father, Helmir," talking all this Asgardian shit on Earth. He's what?
Heimdall, not Heimir. You're confusing a god with a hammer.
Heimdall.
Yeah, you said Heimir.
Oh, Heimir. Yeah, Heimir, the hammer god. And so yeah. And Thor's like, no, he passes out. Oh, no, he doesn't pass out. He's acting crazy. And so the college girl tases him and knocks him out. Darcy knocks him. Even though he's like the god of thunder, still fresh off the power surge, you think that wouldn't bother him?
I mean, he did get hit by a car.
But at the same time...
Eddie is in a mortal body.
You can say that, but like in the when he wakes up in the hospital soon, he starts throwing people around left and right. So like, where's his... he still has strength, obviously.
Because he's built.
Yeah, but still, he's still throwing people left and right. Like he's still kind of a god. So like, I don't know.
He's also a trained warrior and fighter. You don't lose those skills because you lose your power.
Well, I don't think a taser is going to make him knock out. It'll hurt him a lot. Have you ever
been tased?
No, but I don't think people who are tased just get knocked out. They fall because
how many volts are going through his body right now?
He's used to that. He's Thor. He's Thor, the god of thunder.
He's used to that as a god, but he's got a new human body. He's not used to anything.
I guess. I don't know. It's usually a weak... It seems like a weak taser. Like, I don't think it knocked him out. And if it was like a taser gun she pulled on him, sure. It's like a little taser.
She works with a scientist. Maybe they built it and made it super powerful.
That's illegal. That's super illegal, right? Why
do you think they have, like, the essentially the FBI taking all their stuff?
I guess you're right. This isn't taser talk, it's Thor. So yeah, so
I mean, there's so many other things that you can suspend your disbelief.
Yeah, I know.
It didn't cross my mind.
It didn't cross my mind until I just brought it up. Like, oh wait, it's a taser. It's electricity. Why does it bother him? I literally just crossed my mind now, but I don't care. I did find it funny though that when she hit the guy and before Thor got tasered, Jane was mostly focused on the finding. She didn't care about this crazy guy. It's like, I just can't put my work. Like, I respect that, Jane. You don't give a shit about anyone else but your thing right now.
Well, they all were kind of like into their own things at this, like, Darcy's a teenage girl, essentially, into the hot guy, so...
Yes.
And,
Professor's being like a dad and being wary of.
Yeah,
like,
he's more worried about this crazy man
yes.
than anything else, so...
So, now we get... Okay, so yeah, after the taser, they drive Thor to the hospital. Thor wakes up in a daze, like, whoa, wow, this is crazy, and just starts throwing people around. He gets sedated and knocked down and tied up.
Like, this is, like, one of the only scenes that feels fish out of watery.
This and the diner part, that's about it.
Yeah, this in the diner. That's
for
exactly
some reason, my memory, like, I just remember the diner part a lot. It's like, this movie because it's fish out of water.
It's like 2 minutes long.
Not even, so yeah, it's like, damn. I'll eat my words on that for sure. I just cuss this movie out all the time.
I know. I like when you brought in, but it's funny when you're like, I don't want to watch a movie because I don't want to watch a fish out of story movie. I didn't even argue with me because I remember the fish out of story.
Yeah, it was just so prevalent, but like it really isn't in this movie. I mean, kind of, but like not. It's not the focus.
No, not at all. Not even close.
Yeah,
I actually think Wonder Woman's more of a fish out of story, and that's not even that.
Wonder Woman, the
movie,
the Gal Gadot one.
Yeah, when they first bring her over.
Yes.
And even that's not super long in focus there, but I think that's has more of it than this one does.
Captain America has it for a hot second in the first one. I don't think he's definitely a fish out of water, but it's not like the main thing in the movies. Like it's in espionage movies for sure. So
but the Captain America is more of, I wouldn't say that's more of a military training kind of like a weakling getting built up. I think that's a different trope than a fish out of water.
No, I'm saying at the end of the movie it's a fish out of water, but it's like for 30 seconds, if that.
Yeah, the whole 30 seconds.
Yeah.
He adjusts really quickly. So he's but to be fair, he's Captain America.
Exactly. Anyways, so Thor wakes up in hospital days, he gets sedated. We get back to Jane and her friends, and they're looking, it's the next morning, they're looking at their findings and pictures, and they're like, oh wow, this picture is a body coming out of the Aurora, the anomaly. I was like, oh, Jane's like, I left something in the hospital. So she goes, because it's this picture of Thor coming through the bridge. What's it called?
Einstein-Rosen Bridge.
Is that what it's called?
That's what the scientists are calling it.
Oh, wait, did you write that down?
No.
You should remember that?
That's scientific theory. It's a wormhole.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But the Nordic word for it is the Bifrost.
Bifrost. Thank you, TJ. The Bifrost. Like I said, it's a wormhole, huh? Yeah. Oh, and as that's going on, we cut to a guy who finds Thor's hammer real quick. He's like a farmer or something like that. And he goes to pull it. He can't pull it because he can't lift it for reasons. Weird. I thought to myself, imagine if that guy could pick it up. The story would be so different right now.
Yeah, I don't know why, but I enjoyed just this community coming around this hammer, just trying to lift it up. It's so stupid, but it feels like,
it feels genuine. It seems right.
It felt like very Sword in a Stone,
Yeah.
And I guess that's what this story is. I guess this is Sword in a Stone.
Yeah, again, it's all Shakespearean shit.
I don't think Sword in a Stone is Shakespearean. It's
medieval. What would you call that?
I actually don't know what Camelot.
Arthur. Camelot, yeah.
Arthurian legend.
That's the
That's
word.
what it is.
Yes, the word. Thank you.
Arthurian legend. Yes.
Yes. But yeah, no, I like this whole bit. It's like, this is nice. So yeah, the guy goes to pull it. He's like, I can't get this. So Thor's restrained. He wakes up and breaks out of restraint, so he escapes the hospital. Jane and the group show up to the hospital looking for Thor. Like, oh, he's missing. I guess we gotta go look through New Mexico for him. So they get in the car, they go to back up, and Jane runs into him again. It's funny, actually. I enjoyed it. And so it's like,
they did break the rule of threes, though. There should have been one more.
I was waiting for it, too. I was like, there's got to be a third one happening. Never happens. But, so they take him to their place, I guess. And as that's happening, they get back to the Thor's hammer. And that's when the whole community's like, let's get this hammer out, guys. And it's just having fun.
Oh, this is the other fish out of water scene. They're at the diner, and he slams the cup on the ground.
Yeah, not yet, though. Not yet. But
that's they're literally in the diner when those guys come in and start talking about it.
No. Because I said,
they're back
at yes, and that's when we
barbecuing at the hammer. Okay,
yes, they're barbecuing at the hammer, and who shows up? The Men in Black, but it's not the Men in Black. It's Coulson. Guys,
Field's here.
They mean business. So then we go to Thor changing into Jane's ex's outfit. His ex's name is something. Comes into play later. I forget his name.
His what?
Her ex. His clothes.
Oh, I guess I can bring that up now.
Okay.
So Donald Blake,
ladies and gentlemen,
is Thor. So
That's funny.
So, in the comics, Odin sends Thor down similarly to this, not because of this, but he's trying to teach him humility. But when he did, he erased his memory. It's a long story.
Why why not do it this way? That way,
And
that seems better.
And so and he did it for from what I read a long time, and he became Donald Blake as human Donald Blake, and he's a doctor in this. I guess he got his medical licenses, and that's how long he was Donald Blake. And so eventually in the first comic, he comes across and he finds like this walking stick in like a cave, and it turns, and when he taps it, it becomes Thor's hammer, and he gains the power of Thor. So we think in the first comic that, Donald Blake just found the power of Thor, but no, he's always been Thor. He just happened to finally find the hammer and become it.
Like that.
And then Jane Foster is his nurse, Dr. Nurse.
Gotcha.
And that's, how they kind of fall in love there and stuff. And then there's a whole thing where Jane goes to Asgard and fails some tests to become an Asgardian, and so she gets her memory erased, and so Thor ends up dating Sif for a while, and it's the whole thing. We don't need to get into all that, but that's all it is. That's the Donald Blake joke, is Thor is, Donald Blake.
That's funny. So after they get dressed up in Donald Blake, Donald Blake?
Donald Blake, she gives Thor a shirt with the name tag Donald Blake on it.
Okay, that's what you're saying.
Donald Blake.
No, I heard all that, but I thought I was saying his name wrong. Donald Blake. This sounds like a dumb name.
Donald Blake, yeah.
Donald Blake. That's my next D&D character. Donald Blake. Barbarian.
I'm actually wondering if Donald Blake is actually her ex, though, because they use the same name as a fake identity for Thor later, and she'll flags it as a fake identity.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So you think it is her actual ex in the movie?
I don't know. I think it's just meant as a joke, but if he was an actual person, wouldn't they know that? I mean,
that's what I was thinking. Yeah, no, when that happens...
They do know that it's a fake identity, but they obviously... I'm just wondering if they just created the name on the spot and it is a joke. And she just... I don't know.
No, see, I thought it was actual... I thought in the movie universe, that's her ex, and then that's the name that sticks with him for the movie.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering, though.
Yeah.
Is it...
Yes, it has to be.
Person? I don't know. That's all I was wondering.
And it has to be, but just that there was a tattoo at the shield part, I would think, in my opinion. But snafu.
A snafu?
Snafu? Is it snafu? I never used the word, but I know the word. Snafu?
There's a problem at shield. Why don't you just go with that?
Yeah. What's the word? Is it snafu?
I think it's snafu.
I don't fucking know. That word. There's that word. That's to the shield scene. Anyways, Thor's hungry. They need sustenance. We cut to Asgard real quick, and his friends are like, we miss Thor. We should go get Thor. We miss him. Oh, so sad it happens. And, also, Thor in that scene, I think they're nursing the guy's arm from the frostbite. And Loki's like, Thor kind of did to himself, guys. He has been an asshole. I'm going to walk away to the vault. And the friends are like, Loki's such a douchebag, guys. He kind of sucks. Well, he's part of our group because he's Thor's brother, like Thor. Yeah, you're right. Okay. And so Loki goes to the Tesseract. Is it the Tesseract? I guess that's part. Yeah, to the Tesseract. He goes to touch it, and I guess normally if you touch it, you turn to ice, or you get hurt. I guess. So he picks it up. He starts to turn blue, and Odin sees Loki's touching. He's like, "Put it down, Loki." Loki's like, "Dad, what's wrong with me? What am I?" And so we reveal that Loki is a frost giant child. Half frost giant?
Yeah, he's a half frost giant.
I knew you were Googling something. What are you Googling?
No. Actually, he's not. He's full frost giant.
So he's full frost giant?
Yeah.
So why does he look the way he looks then?
So he was born small, like normal size from the, and that's why he was like, Walfrey kind of discarded him because he was embarrassed by his size, because I guess size means everything in the frost giant world.
Yeah, it does. Am I right, ladies?
So he looks that way, and this is all supposition on my part. I don't actually know, but I'm assuming when Odin took him to Asgard, he his essence of his godly essence kind of changed him to Asgardian a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Because as soon as Odin picked up the baby, its skin turned.
That makes no sense then, because for us, the movies is off of Asgard, and when he's on Earth, he doesn't turn blue.
Yeah, well, but it's because he's lived on Asgard for so long that he's essentially become Asgardian.
I guess.
with the energies of it. You know what I mean?
That's fair. I'm not gonna try to like poke holes in this.
Like this is all supposition on my part.
Yeah.
I think because you think if you lived on Jotunheim and that icy thing, your skin is blue, you adapt to that. But if you take that environment and put that in a different environment, especially with godly energies and stuff like that, it's magic.
Yeah, especially through his formative years where he's growing and adapting. So that's fair.
It's magic, especially since his mother's magic and stuff.
Then
like
why does it turn blue with his true self? Like he goes in the Loki show or some shit.
Because I'm assuming he's
he's dead at that point too.
To use a D&D term, he's resistant to frost, and so so his true form comes out when it comes into it, because he wasn't hurt by the frost giant's touch.
No, he wasn't. But I'm saying, like in the Loki show, like you think he would turn back to a blue self. Maybe they don't care enough.
Well, at this point, he's so powerful at the thing. He can look however he wants to look.
That's true. That's true. Like Mystique has shit. Worth thinking too deep into it. Anyways,
yeah, I know.
Yeah.
We're nerds.
Yeah. Anyways, Thor talk, I guess. Wow.
I mean, earlier I quoted the Einstein-Rosen bridge from memory without having to freaking reference it or anything.
No, they bring it up in the movie too. I just zoned that part
I know, but like we don't remember anything from these movies. And we're like, what's this person's name and stuff like that? So that just tells you how nerdy we are.
So Odin's telling Loki, "Yeah, I picked you up because honestly, I wanted to use you as like a uniting us and them." Loki's like, "What? I'm just a tool? How dare you, Father? I hate you!" And as Loki is angrier during this dialogue, Odin's getting weaker and weaker. He's falling into like a coma thing, I guess. Is he falling into that, or does Loki put him into that?
Well, Loki doesn't intentionally put him into it, but I think the stress of the conversation and the exile of Thor and everything else, and he's been putting this off for so long, just overwhelmed him to the point where he fell into it because of the conversation with Loki and Loki's accusations and stuff. But I don't think Loki did something magically to do it. I think it was just he was just kind of distraught that his son's finding out this way and stuff like that, that it just overtook him.
Okay, that makes sense. Thor is at the diner eating food and he's like, "I like this. This is good. Another. Blah, 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 blah." As they're doing this, the townsfolk who were at the Hammer walk on into the diner, and there's an expedition. Yeah, satellite, it crashed. The feds show up, and we can't go back there. And Thor's like, "Where's this at?" They're like, the townsfolk's like 50 miles due west or something like that. It doesn't matter. Thor's like, "I'm going there." And so Jane wants to interview. Okay. So Jane and the Professor try to stop him, but Pressure's like, let's let the guy go. He's weird. And Jane's like, okay. And so they kind of part ways for a few minutes. So Thor's on his way, and Jane and her friends go to do more research, I guess. Yeah, they go back to the labs. Cut back to Loki. He takes the throne of Odin. Odin's sick, and the mother refuses to talk to anyone because she's so sad. And Thor's friends are like, "We need to do something. Get Thor back. Can we get Thor back now? Because you're the new ruler." And Loki's like, "No, I don't want him back. But I'm going to say, because to keep continuity, we cannot let Thor back yet. Because
my first act can't be to undo the king's last act."
Yes, which is honest. Everything he says in this movie is like, it makes sense. Like, you know what? I know you're lying to me and being an asshole, but it makes sense.
He is a master manipulator.
Yeah, he's very well written. I get why people like him.
It's very Shakespearean.
Yes. I like Shakespeare, TJ. I like it a lot.
I own Shakespeare's complete works. You don't have to tell me.
Can I borrow it? Okay. I love this shit so much. So Thor's friends aren't happy with this, and so they just leave Loki the throne.
I would lend you the book, but you don't read.
I do read. I don't read religiously, but I do read.
I was just messing.
So Loki denies that, and then we go back to Thor, and Thor is... Okay, the professor is at a library reading a children's book, because he keeps bringing up that he knows what Thor is, but he can't remember. He's like, that's just childhood stuff. So he looks at a fairy tales book and picks it up and says he's going to show Jane the book.
I mean, he knows who Thor is because it's very popular in Nordic mythology.
You would think it's popular, but apparently it's not in this universe. It's just fairy tales, not mythological stuff, I feel. Or maybe it is, I guess, but the humans aren't.
It's popular enough that it's got its own book. Not only does it's got its own books, but it's got a child's version of the own book.
I guess, but I feel like it's so popular that most people, because I'm a nerd, I know it, but I feel most normal people know Thor. I guess we do now because of the movies.
Yeah, they know to Thor is because of the movies.
Yeah.
But you could just go take one step back. A regular person knows who Hercules is.
That's what I'm saying. So I think he'd be like, I found out weird that no one knew who Thor was, or that
They knew who Thor was. They just didn't believe he
him.
was
Yeah,
Thor.
I guess.
I mean, would you?
No, no.
Exactly.
Someone could say, "Oh, them Jesus." Like, yeah, sure, you're a buddy. Sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Get out of my face. You stink. Anyways, Thor picks up fairy tales. Okay, Jane disobeys, I guess. Doesn't take the professor's words to heart, and she goes to Thor and she's like, "Hey, Thor, I'm gonna take you to your hammer." And Thor's
it's not that she doesn't take his words to heart. She agrees with him up until all the research is stolen. Now she wants to get back at them.
No, because did I skip that part then?
Did you skip the part where they took all of her stuff?
I'm looking at my notes. I don't think I skipped that part yet. No, I didn't skip that part yet. That happens after.
Well, she doesn't go and disobey the guy and take Thor to where he needs to go until after they take his stuff.
When the they take her shit?
It was before she goes and gets Thor, because they take all of her stuff, and Coulson's like, "We're not the bad guys. Here's a check to replace me." She's like, this is years of research. How am I supposed to do it with all this stuff? And then they take all the stuff, and then they're all on the roof lamenting.
No, I know, but like, when's that happen? It's before or after he goes to get his hammer.
It's before the hammer.
When I missed this? Oh, I see it right here. Okay. Actually, I'm looking at the movie right now as we're talking about it. Okay. Thank you, TJ. So the diner happens. They go to walk away.
I've seen this movie a lot.
Apparently.
Like, there was a point in the MCU that I was really into it. So anytime a new movie would come, I'd just watch all the movies again.
I'll be honest. These are like the Harry Potter movies. They don't have much rewatch value to me. Besides a select few, like the Civil War and like the good Winter Soldier, like the good ones, most of these don't have rewatch value to me.
I mean, I think they do as far as connective tissue and seeing where everything goes and stuff like that, because it feels like one giant movie essentially connecting it all together.
It does, but like this one, I'll never watch again. Unless I like someone tell like, "Hey, we should watch." Like, sure, I would never go my way to watch this movie again. I'm not saying.
I mean, I stopped doing that once it became an impossible task to watch every MCU movie.
That's fair.
But like when it was reasonable, it was like, yeah, I would rewatch all of them in preparation for the next movie just to see where.
Fuck that! I would never did that. My friends did that. I was like, "You guys are weird. There's too much of these movies to care about." Granted, it was like 5 at the time. Like,
yeah, like when it was reasonable, I would do it. Like, but not when it started. Now we're up to like 20. No, it's been years since I've seen this movie, but I've seen it enough to be familiar enough with it.
Crazy. I watched it one time before this. This is my second time watching this movie. I don't think I'm ever going to watch it again. So, anyways, Jane and her friends go back to their research place, but oh no, Shield's there. Shield's like, "This is our shit now. Kiss our asses. Here's a check for your things. Peace out." And Jane and her friends are like, "No, let's go sit on the roof and, like you said, lament about it." No. And then she goes to get Thor. There we go. And then that's when the Loki thing happens, and his friends are upset. And then they talk about then that's when the professor goes to the library. Look, that's why it's the library. Okay, that's why that shit happens. I missed that theme. Okay, now Jane goes to get Thor. She's like, "No, bro, we're going to the Shield location. You're going to get your hammer, and I kind of believe you now. I just want to interview you and talk to you because something's got to be up." So they get to the location where the hammer's at. Shield's put a whole thing around it.
Like it's like the plastic tunnels from E.T.
No, it reminds me of a movie called Evolution.
Never saw it.
So good. But a meteor hits the Earth. 2 professors find it first. Then the government comes in. And
I guess it's the same thing. Any quarantine type movie.
Yes. Anything that the Earth is hit by something, someone else finds it first. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it's a good trope. I like this trope, honestly.
I just never seen it built into a house before.
Like this? Oh, like an E.T. Yeah.
Like they built a house out of the tunnel since.
Oh yeah, weird, right?
It's a little weird. Yeah.
There's a shield facility.
This is a good scene, though.
It is a good scene. I have my issues with it. I have my issues with this movie a lot. It feels there's a shield facility. Thor goes to break in, he sneaks in, yada yada. As he gets closer, it starts to rain because he's getting closer to his hammer. He's like, "I'm connected with this." It's starting to lightning and rain. As that's happening, the people are on guard. They're like, "Hey, so there's an intruder here. Stop this guy." Thor starts beating people up to get to his hammer, and there's an agent there who's going to get for a gun because he's got the high ground, but he's not getting a gun. He gets his bow and arrow. And who is it? Hawkeye, guys. Oh wow, he's here because he's got to be an Avengers.
This is actually a bigger deal than you make it out because this is the first time we've actually seen him.
Trust me, I remember when this came out. It was a huge deal. I remember the trailer, like, fans like, who is that? Is that Hawkeye? Who's Hawkeye? We gotta tell who Hawkeye is. It's a big deal, but, like, he doesn't do anything in this movie. It's just, he's here to be quippy, and that's it.
Well, no, he's here
to shoot the Thor down.
No, he's here because we need to introduce him for Avengers.
Yeah, but it's like, guys, really?
That's why he's here, because he can't be in First Avenger.
Obviously.
So where else are you going to establish him?
An Avengers movie, because we don't see Scarlett Johansson. We do see Scarlett Johansson. We see her.
We've seen her in Iron Man 2.
We see, that's pretty much.
She's a major role in Iron Man 2.
We see everyone before this, huh? Yeah, I guess you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. He's just very pointless in this scene. Like,
yeah, I know.
He's fun and charismatic. Like,
he's just there. He's Coulson's.
He has a shoot. He has a fire. He has to do. There's no hand-to-hand combat with him. There's no single.
Yeah, I know.
Shot fired.
It's just a tease.
Oh, it's terrible. I hate it. It's like.
Nah, I think it's fine.
I hated it.
It's like because he's a part of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Nope.
This is a S.H.I.E.L.D. This is a S.H.I.E.L.D. facility, and it's just like
nope. He did all that to get the high ground. He did all the thing. He get on that dumb levee thing. Everything to get up there. And they're gonna show me. Thor has a boss fight with like a big black henchman, but not with Hawkeye. Well, like you couldn't give us anything with this guy.
Because if you can't have Hawkeye lose.
Obviously, but you can't they could be like evenly matched.
But you can't have Thor lose either. So you can't have them go up against each other. Not in this early in the thing.
Then why have him? Like you could have Thor lose. You could have Hawkeye shoot a thing that like sedates him. Oh, it's a smoke bomb, and Thor is knocked out now again. They could have done that. They could have done anything. Just fire one shot.
We're also establishing Coulson as he wants to know what this is about and stuff.
But he could. I'm saying Thor could have gotten to the hammer and not pull the hammer and be up distraught. So then Coulson could have said to Hawkeye, "Okay, shoot a thing." Hawkeye shoots a thing.
But he wasn't resistant at that point.
I know, but they could have had him more angry or something like that, just yelling something. Like
why do you want them to be barbarians?
I don't want them to be barbarians. I just want Hawkeye to do something. Like they had Scarlett Johansson do something. Make Jeremy Renner do something in this movie besides just being quippy and like, "Hey guys, I got an area for the sequel. Don't worry, I'll be in the next movie, and I'll be useless in that movie too." It's like, damn it, guy. That's all. That's all. I was just like, I hated it. I hated it. And it's like he didn't need to be in it. And they could have cut that out without changing the movie. TJ.
They
can literally. It was fucking pointless. You can't like. If it was in any other movie of any other characters, like why is that there? It's pointless. It's generally pointless. It's just there to set up the character for the sequel.
Entire S.H.I.E.L.D. scene, this whole S.H.I.E.L.D. showing up, and it went and changed the movie.
No,
you could have had all those people lifting the hammer and not being able to, and then Thor going and lifting the hammer. Wouldn't have changed the movie at all.
They could. Well, they'll need a shield because
why?
I'm trying to think. Yeah, you don't need. So yeah, you could cut all this out and just focus on. That's what I'm saying. That's why this movie's weak, TJ. Like they have so many pointless things.
That goes back to establishing the universe as a whole storyline.
Yeah, but you're still not establishing Hawkeye as a whole. It's like, hey, we have him on our team. We know he's a good guy, and that's it. That's all we know. He could have showed up in Avengers.
That's my whole point. This is just them establishing. But you can't just have him show up in Avengers.
Why not? If you're not going to do anything with him in this movie, why not?
Because you established every other character before Avengers.
Know why I know they could establish an Avengers, TJ? Because this part was so pointless. I totally blocked it out until I saw the Avengers when I first saw it. Like, oh, who's this character? Oh, it's Hawkeye. And I was like, okay, in my mind, he was established in the Avengers. Not in this movie, because he's so pointless in this movie.
It's just a cameo.
It's a pointless cameo for a big character like this.
It's just establishing that he's in S.H.I.E.L.D. and that he's a big enough gun that they think they think he could take Thor. That's all it is.
No, because he doesn't do anything. He's just like, I'm here if you want me to do something, boss. I'm not going to do anything, boss. I'll see you in the f***ing Avengers movie.
That's
pointless. At least Scarlett Johansson fights people in the movie. At least she does something along like, okay, I won't be a spy and help move the plot forward. Hey, Happy Hogan, let's do this. Let's do this. You fight one henchman, I fight 20. Show you I have capability. Showing you I can do things. Hey, Stark, you don't know who I am because I'm Black Widow. I'm better than you.
So you just want him to fire the arrow?
No, something. Yes, do something. Shows that you're a really good shot, and that you kind of missed Thor, but like you didn't miss him because you planned it out. Like just shows you your point. You have a point. He literally cut this out.
I don't know.
He shows up in the Avengers, and it's fine.
It's such a minute scene.
No, because they focus so much on him. They focus so much on him that they gave him dialogue. TJ, it's like, okay, this is a character. They show him like,
it's a character, but so is Sitwell.
Yeah, but he like Sitwell. But Sitwell, they don't like, hey, Sitwell, hold back, Sitwell, so you can stop Thor. Hold back. Oh, no, they're fine. Like,
Yeah, but they're just showing that he's a badass essentially through words.
like no.
They're like saying, "Okay, we don't want to hurt this guy. I mean, now he's harmless. We don't need you to take the shot."
And I get that, but like they cannot have that at all. They can have any other name. Like at this point, Thor is surrounded by guys with weapons. Everyone, hold your fire. See what happens.
It's pure fan service.
Yeah, this is bad fan service though.
I think it's fine fan service because it's a character earlier in the series. Nope. It's not like 15 movies in, we haven't seen him before, and it's cool to see him.
No, it's not cool to see him. It's like, it's cool to see him do something. Like, okay, he can do something. Oh,
you're just being ridiculous.
No, I'm generally not. You're just being, I'm not being, you're generally being just like defending of this because you like the character and like where it goes and like this continuity.
I'm very neutral on Hawkeye, honestly. I don't care one way or another. This didn't bother me. It's just TJ, like, okay, there's Hawkeye.
No, if this was a movie I would have picked out with nameless characters and it had a character do that, you'd been like, why did that character do that? That was pointless. That's superfluous. That would have been all the TJ-isms. You'd been like, that was f***ing dumb.
No, I wouldn't have because it's literally 15 seconds or whatever it is he's in the movie. Who cares? I wouldn't have thought twice about it.
No, because they had a main character like, oh, this bad guy's this hold off big or guy or A1 shooter. Coulson says we need someone in the sky.
Marcus, you remember the Mandy review?
Yeah.
I never once brought up any of those secondary characters that were superfluous because
they actually used them. But they used them though. They actually did things with them.
Like the guys that are just killed randomly.
Yeah, but they actually do something. They actually interacted with the characters. Coulson's just like, or Hawkeye's just like,
he's interacting with Coulson.
But like not with the main character, like you said, the whole shield thing could be cut out. This is Thor's story. Like this is bad. It's bad. It's bad.
It's just a connective tissue for the overall universe.
It's bullshit. It's great bull. It's great bullshit.
I'm not defending it for the sake of defending it. I just think you're being nitpicky.
I'm not being. It's just because it's so in your face. Like the moment's a good moment of Thor getting to the hammer and being distraught that doesn't work. That's a great moment. I think the whole Hawkeye thing distracts and takes away from it because you're still thinking like Hawkeye's here, guys. He's gonna be doing something. It's like, oh.
No, you're thinking, okay, is Coulson going to have him shoot him? That's what I was thinking.
Yes, is Hawkeye going to interact with Thor? Yes.
And then he doesn't feel the need, so Coulson calls it off.
Yeah, but it could have been any other no-name henchman with a sniper rifle.
But what difference does that make if it is or isn't?
Because you're not amping up someone against that henchman's not going to be in the Avengers. Like, hey guys, you remember this guy from the last movie? Like, it's just like it's lazy fan service.
It's just a fan service to establish a character that's going to be in Avengers. It hurts nothing. It takes away from nothing.
It does take away.
It does not take away.
It takes away from Thor's moment.
But the whole shield attacking him and keeping the hammer takes away from it. You can still have this moment without shield. The whole shield thing there.
I agree with that. I agree with that, but
the whole thing is fan service, so who cares?
But the shield part also can I accept the shield being there to connect the universe. It's adding on the Hawkeye element to be like,
but Hawkeye is a part of Shield.
What?
Hawkeye is a part of Shield.
I know that, but like he's gonna do something. He's gonna do something. Hawkeye's gonna be here to do something. Nah. It's bad. It's bad. It's just bad.
I don't think it's bad. I think you're just being stupid.
No, I'm not. I just hated it. It was just like this is so.
Fine, you can hate it, but it's not a big deal at all.
It is a big deal.
No, it's not. It is. It's not even 3 minutes of the entire movie.
I wouldn't mind if it came back later in the movie or something. This is the only time. It's just it's like, oh, we need to do some reshoots to have Hawkeye in here for some reason because we have to establish him kind of for the next movie. It's just like, clearly like last second thing they added on or whatever. It's like this is bullshit.
I mean, it's no different than Samuel L. Jackson talking to the guys at the end of this movie.
Yeah, but those at the end of credits, those were pointless. Or those just like, hey guys, refreshes for later. I would have been fine if Hawkeye would have showed up there. They could have put Hawkeye at the end with Samuel L. Jackson eating an apple. Oh, it's Hawkeye, guys. That's it. He's a teaser at the end. I've been totally fine with
that. I'm done arguing with you over this because this is a stupid argument.
Because I'm right.
It's literally 2 minutes of a movie that is fine.
A movie that's too long. It does not need this part in it.
It is not a long movie. It's
hour
under
54
2 hours.
With a lot of bullshit.
Under 2 hours.
Yeah, but still an hour 54, TJ. It's a long movie to have. Oh, Hawkeye's here. That's literally an end credit scene.
Hawkeye was in the middle of a scene.
But he didn't need to be there.
That was happening.
He didn't need to be here.
It was. It's the whole scene is happening. It's already there.
Yeah.
It's not taken away from it. So what difference does it
It
make?
is. Because they take the time to say, hey, we need someone
Because
eyeing
you
this guy.
say, but no, it's not, because you said it could be any other guy, and if
It literally could be any other sniper on him.
but it wouldn't have taken it away from it if it was any other guy.
Nope.
So what difference does it make?
Because this is Hawkeye, TJ. It's my same complaint with Wonder Woman. Was it what the Wonder Woman one? Or
A person who has no idea who Hawkeye is wouldn't have been like, oh, that guy was there. Okay.
Yeah, that guy there with a fucking bow and arrow. Who's obviously something.
Okay, he likes to
the
have
guy
bow
who
and
chose
arrow
not
instead.
to take the sniper rifle, but went to the bow and arrow under the sniper rifle.
But the bow and arrow was right on top of it. It was in the wall of
but the guy was going to put his hands on the sniper rifle. Yes, then
maybe he's better with the bow and arrow.
Yes, he's better with that. Then he's going into this.
Maybe he wasn't trained with the sniper rifle,
which is fine. But then he's going to pick this totally impractical lift to go on, which is going off like no footing on the ground. So he's probably got great bow and arrow skills.
It's a makeshift tunnel house. Do you think they have cranes or a scaffolding that he can get up high on?
No, but okay, so he's using this thing. Sure. No, because there's scaffolding people hanging standing on surrounding Thor right now.
They're not on scaffolding.
They're on. There's height to it. They're on.
But they're not like in the sky.
They're high enough where he can't jump up to them.
He's not trying to jump up to them.
That's what I'm saying, but he's someone high up, and he got high up to a weird location.
He just wanted a vantage.
On a thing that you can't stand on properly?
He just saw that this guy beat up 30 guys. He close to him.
But he picks like the worst thing to get onto, which is fine because it shows, okay, he's so confident in his marksmanship that this totally impractical thing for him to stand on is like, oh, this character is going to do something really wicked and awesome.
You overthought at this scene.
No, I didn't, because you're just looking at it like, okay, why do that?
Like, I didn't even consider this elevator thing that he was on or whatever it is. Didn't even give it a second thought. I gave this whole scene no thought whatsoever. I was like, oh, Hawkeye's there. He's going to shoot him if Coulson says so. Oh, he doesn't need to shoot him. Okay, we're moving on.
No, I gave it thought, teacher. So I take notes of this dumbass movie. So, of course, I'm going to give it thought. And so I was like, oh, my God, this guy's doing all of this. And, like, he's got Hawkeye in it. And that's it. Wow. That was pointless. It could have been Coulson holding the damn sniper rifle, man. It could have been Jane. It could have been anyone else holding it. Like, okay, it makes sense. But, like,
your whole problem is that it's fan service.
Yes, it's lazy, bad. Fan service is set up. It's not
lazy and bad. It's regular old fan service.
It's so bad. It's so bad.
It's
so bad.
Regular fan service.
It's like it's this reason why like
regular old fan service.
It just shows you that this movie's just here to set up the next movie. Just here to set it up.
It's just regular old fan service.
It's just bad. It's bad. It's bad.
Okay, whatever.
Anyways, Hawkeye's here for no reason. So Thor's trying to get his hammer. Gets the hammer. He gets to it, grabs it, can't lift it. He's sad. And he's getting arrested. Heimdall sees this. He's sad. And Jane's like, she calls the professor. It's like, hey, professor, come pick me up. I got Thor in trouble. Oops. And so she goes to talk to the professor. They talk about Thor. And he's like, oh, he's actually a real thing. And there's a hammer and things like that. Blah, 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 blah. And so they go back to pick him up. But now we got cut to Thor. He's in a holding cell. And Coulson's like, we're going to get information out of you. I'll be right back. Stay here. I'll be right back, Thor. And when Coulson leaves, we see Loki appear because Loki has the power to do that kind of stuff, like teleportation, I guess. I guess that's really Loki. And so Loki tells Thor, hey, is it really him or is it like an astral projection of him?
He does try to pick up the hammer.
Exactly. So it's got to be him.
So yeah, I guess it's him, but he can't be seen.
Yes. So Loki appears in front of Thor, like you said, only Thor can see him. Can't be really Loki then, right? Maybe it is. I don't know.
I mean, that's the only thing I can come up with considering that he tried to lift the hammer.
Exactly. That's just bad writing to show that he can't lift it and no one else can lift it, but, bad writing is bad writing. So Loki visits Thor, says, hey, Thor,
they did establish that he can get frost giants in on the Asgard, so he can travel between planes, technically.
Yeah. He does mention to Heimdall, I can get off this. There's so many other ways to off this besides this main way. So, okay, yeah. That's fair. So yeah, Loki appears in front of Thor. Only Thor can see him. Loki says to Thor, Dad's dead. You ain't coming back. Sorry, Thor. Your shit out of luck, bro.
Mom wants you to stay here because of reasons.
Yeah, exactly. Just anything to keep Thor away. That's it. And so Loki then says, I'll see you later, Thor. Maybe never. And walks away. Then he goes to the hammer. He tries lifting up Thor's hammer. He can't lift it up. It just disappears. And then as Coulson goes to interrogate Thor, there's a person waiting for Thor outside. And Coulson goes, sees who it is. Oh, it's Professor. Professor says, oh, that's my friend. It's something Blake.
Dr. Donald Blake.
Donald Blake. And Coulson's like, who? Donald Blake. And the professor just gets Thor out from lying. And this is the scene we're talking about, like how they check that identity, but it's a false identity, so it's got to be real Donald Blake out there somewhere.
Yeah, I don't know. I tried looking it up, but all I could find was this reference to it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so
Okay.
I don't know.
So the professor gets Thor out by lying. But Coulson's like, follow them just in case. And the professor takes Thor to drink, and they've talked about Jane at the bar. And
Yeah, he's being a dad.
yeah, it's a cute little moment, I guess. And they drink. And they get drunk. The professor gets drunk. Thor carries the professor back to Jane's RV.
Yeah. I guess they don't. I guess she doesn't. They're living out of an RV. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know where they live, but they takes back to the RV.
They have a office though.
Exactly. They have these. They don't really show establishing shots what they are, but there's places
No, they do.
They work at.
They do. That's like on top of the building they're sitting on is their building. They do establish that place, but I don't know. Why don't they just like set up a couple cots in the office or something?
Because they just got ransacked, I guess. Who knows?
Yeah, but now they got more space.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
Whatever.
Yeah. So before we get back to that,
Darcy's not there. So does she live in this town, or
I don't know. Maybe she's in college doing college stuff still. Like that, she's like that's just extracurricular stuff.
Yeah, this is extracurricular for her, but they're not anywhere near a college that I know of.
No, College of New Mexico is probably a thing, right?
Huh?
College of New Mexico must be a thing. University of New Mexico.
Yeah, I'm sure there is, but they look like they're in like a ghost town.
It does because there's no one there. I know. It's just like
there's like 4 people in this entire town. I don't think there's a college.
It could be a what do they call it? The small colleges you go to?
A community college.
That's it. That's the word. Community college. Yeah, could be that there. I guess.
I don't know. It doesn't look like it has much. This town though.
No. It's got a diner, and that's all that matters.
I went to I was on a cross country trip with my brother years and years ago, and we were going through Texas.
Yeah.
And we stopped through Shamrock, Texas.
Shamrock, Texas.
And know what Shamrock, Texas has?
Shamrocks?
McDonald's.
Is that it?
That sells Shamrock shakes all year round.
That's their thing. Okay.
That was their thing. That was their whole thing. That's what Shamrock, Texas is. That's what this town reminded me of. It's just a little shit town with a McDonald's that probably has something themed after it.
Yeah. There's the McRib towns. They sell McRibs year round.
Yeah.
Come on by.
That's what this town reminded me of.
That's awesome. But hey, everyone's got to have a thing, right? Every town's got to have a thing.
I guess.
Not everyone's got the Big Apple. Some people just sell the Shamrocks year round. So anyways, before we go further with Thor and Jane, Loki's going back to Asgard. He makes a side stop at the Frost Giant area. And he's talking to Frost Giants like, hey guys, I'm going to sneak you guys in to kill Odin in his sleep and do things because I'm a bad dude.
No, he's going to sneak to them so they can kill Odin, and then he'll give them the Tesseract to rebuild their planet or whatever. Yes. I don't know what they need the Tesseract to rebuild their planet for, but looks like they just sleep in caves, but okay.
Savages. And so Loki's like, deal? They're like, deal. So Loki heads back to Asgard, and he fronts Elba, and Elba's like, hey, bro, where were you at? And Loki's like, I can sneak out whenever I want. Don't worry about it, Elba. I'm the king. Obey my orders. Don't question me. Then we go, I wrote down my notes, casting's really good, because the casting is really good in this movie. The actors are phenomenal. Yeah,
and they were always really good with that, though.
Yes.
The MCU.
I guess they took the time with it.
Well, they cared about the comics and the portrayals of their characters.
Yes.
Well, shock what happens if you actually follow the source material.
You hear that, DC? Get your shit together, you sons of bitches. Anyways, Thor now is back with Jane with the precious drunk on his couch. So Thor's talking to Jane.
Although I will say,
yes,
rewatching this movie, Chris Hemsworth does look a little small.
Well, yeah. He did gain weight for this, though. He did jack up for this movie,
Yeah,
though.
I know. And I'm not saying he looks bad at all, but for Thor, he just kind of looks a little small. So,
well, because he's not wearing padding outside of the outfit.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Even in his suit, though, he looks a little small. Like, he should be a little more imposing, is all I'm saying.
I could give you that.
As Thor. Like, how he looks nowadays, you know?
Yes.
But, like, it doesn't take away from the movie. He's just a little small, I noticed.
Well, I guess because also this is still young. He's still young compared to Thor now, I guess. Like, he's still a man-child. I don't know.
Yeah, I know. It was noticeable, is all.
Yeah. So Thor's talking to Jane at the fire, and they're just like, hey, Jane, I think you're pretty. He's teaching about the 9 realms, and where I'm from, your magic is science, and blah, 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 blah. Cosmos, 9 realms, etc., exposition.
No, where he's from, magic and science are the same thing.
Yes, that.
That's a difference.
Yes. Then we come back to Thor's friends, and they talk to Elba. Friends want to get Thor back. Elba's like, "You're going to betray the king, our new king."
Well, that's not what happens. They're talking about betraying the king, and they're like, we shouldn't be talking about this, or Heimdall's going to know." And then they get summoned to Heimdall.
Yes. And Heimdall
And
brings
then
it up.
Heimdall says, and then Heimdall's like, "You betray your king," and then they're like, "Yeah," and he's like, "Good, okay."
And he just walks away. And they're like, "What?" He's like, "If you get to him, you get to him." He just lets them go through without directly letting them go through. This movie's not that bad. And so they go to Earth. They go save Thor. And Loki's not happy, so he goes to send a giant after them.
The Destroyer.
The Destroyer. To destroy it. He wants the Destroyer to destroy everything. Then we go back, and we get back to Earth, and the friends reunite. It's the next day. Thor's making Jane breakfast, and it's a crash outside. What's that sound? Oh no, it's Thor's friends. They crash on the Earth. They reunite.
Yeah, because at this point, Thor has like resigned himself that he's supposed to be in exile because of all the things that he's done. Yeah, he's gonna live on Earth.
Yeah, that's my problem with this movie. I feel this movie, like, Thor is unworthy, right? Because he's Thor. He does this Thor things at the beginning. He gets sent to Earth to redeem himself. Mm-hmm. And I feel he has nothing to redeem himself besides, like, the sacrificial part at the end of the movie.
Well, no, he's...
Like, this movie shows us nothing that he's improved upon. Because I feel like he's still the same character from the beginning to end. Like, I think he would have sacrificed himself no matter what for his friends, being Thor, being this guy. So, like, I feel like he learned nothing in this movie. And it's, like, one of my biggest problems with this movie.
Calmed down is what I got out of it. Like, you know what I mean? He's not he became less aggressive, less... stupid, essentially.
Yeah, a little bit, but I guess I wanted more calmness from him. Like, I just didn't feel like...
So what you're telling me is you want this movie to be longer.
I wish it would have focused on the right things better. That's all. Not longer. Like, this movie does not need to be longer. It just needs to be focused better. Because I think he gets to Earth, he eats some food, he's angry, he's confused, eats, talks to the people because he's trying to get his hammer. He can't get the hammer, so he's like, okay, this is my life now. For a hot second, friends come. He gets his hammer again. He gets reunited with his friends. He gets into a fight first, dies during the fight. It's very rushed. It's like, that's why I don't like it. It's like he doesn't learn anything besides there's a pretty girl right here. I like her. And the guy I talked to, like, he could drink good beer and he's like, they're humans. But, like, I feel like that's his character the whole time. I don't see him, like, not being that in the beginning of the movie.
Well, like, the beginning of the movie, he's just impatient and angry.
Yeah.
And I think that's this whole experience is kind of tempered him. And that's what it is.
I guess, but it just doesn't feel like enough to become Thor again.
Ever since he's been banished down here, you didn't see him, like, aside from the hospital scene, like, freak out, like, angry, and, like, he's becoming less arrogant, essentially, too.
Well, I think that's because he knows that he's immortal now. If he was still, like Thor level power, he'd be so dickhead. So, like, he's only behaving himself because he kind of has to, or he'll die. Well, it's not because he wants to become.
Sometimes that's all you need to put something in, to put yourself into the mind space that you need to become a better person.
It doesn't feel like
that wake up call.
It doesn't feel like it though for me in this movie. It just feels like he's doing it because he has to.
I'm not saying it's well done, but I'm saying it is there. It's just not.
It's not good.
It's not. I don't want to say it's not good. I want to say it's not. It needed to be. It needed to breathe a little longer.
And that's why. That's why my issue was with them going from Asgard to Earth. Like, it wasn't balanced enough, and they didn't focus on the things.
The Earth stuff seemed a little rushed.
Yes,
like, honestly, the movie should have probably been longer.
Probably, for sure, but I don't want it to be longer. It could have been. Like, again, with Jane's character, I feel like her character is kind of pointless too.
Yeah, they probably needed an hour on Asgard and then an hour on Earth.
Yeah, it's like that's why, like, I was thinking, like, they could have focused the whole movie on Asgard and then, like, him being banished to Earth. That could have been the sequel or something. It could have been 2 movies.
I don't think anyone would have sat through that movie, though.
I would have. I would have happily sat through the Shakespeare and Asgard shit.
Yeah, but you have bad taste.
No, because you imagine a fan. It's literally Game of Thrones.
You want Batman to be a social worker or something. So.
I would have watched that in a heartbeat. But it's literally just Game of Thrones, TJ. It's like, okay, all the family drama and betrayal. It's Shakespeare. It's popular for a reason.
But the story in Asgard isn't really that.
What is it?
It's like, it's just showing the war between the frost giants and stuff. Like, and then it would mostly be just Loki kind of just manipulating behind the scenes.
Perfect. An hour and a half of that, an hour 45 of Loki and Thor and Odin and all the just a family drama with the threat of the winter's coming, the frost giants. This is literally Game of Thrones. And then Thor going there early to do the thing and get do it bad, get back to Asgard and get banished onto Earth. That's the sequel movie.
But one, people would say, "Oh, look, we're just copying Game of Thrones."
But Game of Thrones wasn't out by the time, or was it? Yes, it was.
I think it was.
But like, this is like,
and two, like, this is a superhero movie. You can't just have a family drama in a superhero movie.
So none of the Stark family drama.
Like, the Stark family drama is there, but it's a scene. It's not the whole movie.
I know, but like I'm saying, this if it's written well, it could have been done better. And I think just how this movie is performed to present to us, it's just like it's. I just don't think
the Asgard stuff would have worked by itself in the whole movie. He needed to be a superhero and come to Earth and stuff like that. I think it needed to be. I just think maybe you needed to make this movie a half hour longer.
Nope, I would not have liked that. Me personally, like that. I would have hated that. I think the Asgard stuff could have done better. Granted, though, again, it's like the Asgard stuff visually, like at the time, budget. I get it, and they had to rush this for the Avengers.
Yes.
So I get why they did it this way. I just think the movie suffers from that. It's just clearly, like we said earlier, the movie is setting up for something else. It's not a movie of its own.
The movie is hurt by it, but I don't think it's like breaking the movie either. You know what I mean?
It doesn't, but it doesn't help the movie. Like the movie could have been a higher rating to me, but I just think it being what it is knocks it down a few points. Well, I just feel it's lacking.
It's not going to be an 8. This movie.
No,
I don't think it was ever intended to be. I think
it should always be intended to be an A. I think movies should be always try to be their best.
I think it was like I said. I think they wanted. This is literally an establishing movie.
Yeah, it is.
Get people to get into the Avengers, and for what its purpose is, it does it fine.
It does it fine, exactly. Not great, not bad, just fine. It's just a fine, okay. It's an okay movie.
Which is better than what you thought you were coming into.
Kind of. It's like I'm not happy with this being okay. Like I'd rather have had this been bad. Honestly, I think it's like this is just okay. It's like this being okay is just like feels how I feel like most of the content in Marvel is like. It's okay. It's just a superhero movie. The good stuff's really good, but most movies are just like, it's a movie.
All right.
Let's go back to the review. I'm sorry. So his friends land, and he's reunited with his friends. Shield's about to set up and do something, but oh no, something else lands. Oh, they're going to check on what landed. But oh no, something else lands, and what lands behind them is the Destroyer. He lands too. Shield goes check on it. Shield's like, what is that, Stark shit? That's continuity. Like, that's not Stark shit. The Destroyer destroyed Shield's property, and Thor and his friends are like, what's that coming in the horizon? They're like, oh, it's the Destroyer. So Thor's like, hey guys, evacuate the town. We got this.
But even them bringing in Stark just shows how much of a connective movie this is.
Yeah, but it's
because now in this universe, oh look, a giant robot just appeared out of nowhere. Oh, that's not strange anymore.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's just establishing the universe even more.
It is. I do like that. I'm not faulting that for that. It just feels like it just feels like this movie is just setting stuff up. That's all. It's just like this is a piece, is a domino in the domino.
That's why I'm not bothered by it as much as you are, is because it's doing what it's supposed to be doing.
Yeah, and it's doing good at it. I'm not saying it's an atrocious movie. It's just I'm not happy with it. That's all.
Okay.
That's like, I hope that makes sense. It probably doesn't make sense, but I hope that makes sense.
It makes sense to you, Marcus. That's all that matters.
I guess. So there's a big boss fight. Thor and his friends fight the Thing. The Thing kills Thor, kind of. Odin cries because Odin's still... because Loki's...
The Thing is in New York.
What?
The Thing is in New York.
Yeah, sure. The Thing's in New York. So his friends fight the Thing. The Thing kills...
No, the Thing is in New York.
I know what you're talking about. And the Thing kills
well, stop saying
Thor.
the Thing then.
I'm going to keep saying it. Because I'm trying to... There are 2 hours of this goddamn review. I'm trying to get it over with TJ. There's a fight. The Thing kills Thor. Odin's still in his Thing. He cries for some reason.
He doesn't kill Thor, by the way. He's like, Reed Richards somewhere.
Whatever, he's that. And Odin's crying. Somehow rejuvenates Thor and makes Thor worthy, apparently, to hold the Mjolnir again. So Thor's back to being Thor. He kills the Destroyer.
Oh, sacrificing yourself is a worthy thing.
It is, but like that, I don't think Thor would never not have done that. But again, we don't know because they don't show enough of that.
Well, at the same time, though,
yeah,
the counter argument that sure it's easy to throw yourself in the line of danger and and stuff when you're a god of thunder. You
Yeah.
have all these powers and stuff like that. You have all this protection. Now you don't have that. You're just a mortal. You're just a person, and now you're throwing yourself in something so dangerous. That is a difference. You know what I mean?
If they would have showed us him cowering to some things as a mortal, like, oh, I got hit by a car, I'm limping now for us the movie,
Well, no,
or I got tasered, I got like, if they would have showed us like him getting beat up through the movie, like actually like wearing on him and him being more cautious or something like that, and then him doing a self-sacrificial thing, I'm like, okay, he actually did something because he's afraid of being hurt.
You don't need to be afraid to get hurt. He's still a warrior in his heart and stuff like that. So I don't think being afraid of it is the thing, but to be able to be in the position of power and stuff like that, to be more like essentially indestructible in the face of dangers is a lot easier than to know that you could be easily broken and you're going to die rather than. So like if he would have faced that robot and with all of his powers and said, I'm going to sacrifice myself to do this, there's a chance he doesn't die.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's like, there's a pattern in his powers. Now with this, he's like certain to die here. And so it's actually more brave and more of a sacrifice for him to do it in this form rather than, doing it as a power.
And I agree with that, but they don't show us like him having that mindset through the movie as he's on Earth. They don't show him being more cautious of like dangers because he's a human now.
Again, it's not about the caution or anything like that. It's like he's in a position.
Yeah, but they don't show us him thinking that. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't show us him like he knows he can die. He like
right.
But they don't show him us.
But he also sends his friends in the battle first. He says, I can't be in this fight because I'm going to get killed. So you guys do what you can against this while we get everyone out of here. Yeah. I'll stay back with all the other mortals. Showing that he's not going to run and attack and actually is showing that he is being more cautious.
Yes, but like, I think they should have had that more breadcrumbs in the movie for that. His time on Earth should have been more breadcrumbs to that instead of not that. Like, oh, I'm saying it now.
Yeah, I know.
That's an issue for people in a Steel movie. Like, oh, he says quietly to himself, "Get back inside," and then destroys the city. Like, people have issue with that, but you can't have issue with this. Like, it's just like it's almost like one of the same.
Like I get what you're saying, and I'm not disagreeing, but I'm just saying it is there.
Yeah, but not enough of it is there. That's why
but it's still there. A bad movie wouldn't have it at all.
Yes, but a better movie would have had it more so.
Like I feel like, and obviously we already mentioned this movie was cut down.
Yeah, yes,
obviously.
It was, yeah.
So, like, I think there's a really good movie here. It's just been butchered a little bit.
For sure, a really good movie is here. I can't argue that. It's just like you said, it has been butchered. It has been gutted. It has it just suffers from that. So I'm going to critique the final thing we got from it.
Yeah, I know, but it's just the way you critique it makes it sound like this isn't happening at all.
Thor kills the Destroyer, and he's going like, "Hey, Jane, I'm Thor now. Let me show you the bridge." She's like, "Yes, baby. Show me the bridge, baby, because I'm a pointless character." He's like, "Got it, babe." He flies her to where the bridge is going.
But he does it. He shows up there, and she's not there.
Wait, what? I know. That's like, why is she not here? Like, where's she supposed to? You literally just flew her there.
Yeah, he just flew her there, but she's not there. She shows up with the car behind him.
Yeah, so like that's weird.
Yeah, I thought that was strange.
Yeah. So Thor's calling for Heimdall. Oh, Heimdall was going to attack Loki, but Loki froze him because Heimdall knew, because Loki was like, "You're no longer the thing. You're
no longer the Guardian since you let those guys leave." And he's like, "Fine, I don't have to follow you anymore."
Yes, and also Loki let the Frost Giants in. They're going to attack. I don't know how I got it over that, but they came in and they're about to kill Odin. So now Heimdall is breaking through the ice. Loki froze him in. He kills some Frost Giants, and he just let the Thor in time. And Thor and his friends go to town with these ice giants.
So I don't understand this part, though.
What?
So his plan was to save Odin, obviously. Kill the Frost Giants. He did it, right?
Who, Thor or Loki?
Yes, that's his plan.
Yes.
But he knows Thor knows everything. And at the time, he that Thor had just killed the Destroyer.
Yeah.
So he should know that because he's in control of the Destroyer.
Exactly. So you think he'd be changing his plan or something?
Like, yeah, he'd be changing his plan. Why is he still trying to get through with it?
Yeah, I thought that was weird too.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought like he's a master manipulator. He's not going to just capitalize on plan A. He should have like backup contingency plans for this.
Yeah, doesn't make sense here.
especially for the mother and people who would obviously be like, "Oh, my son's lying to us." Like, but yeah. So he does. Loki goes to continue on doing that. Thor shows up. Loki, they fight a little bit, but somehow they separate. I think Loki runs away.
Well, when Loki saves Odin, Thor shows up in there and pretty much tells his mom how it is. And so he blasts Thor through the wall with the staff.
That's what it is. And then Loki ends up at the bridge and overloads it to destroy Jotunheim.
Jotunheim, yes. They
Yes.
established that earlier.
Yes.
That's why they can't keep the bridge open, because it overloads and it will destroy it.
Yes. And then they can't, and so Loki's like, "Ha ha ha! My plan's going on, brother. You can't stop any of this." And they have a fight. Thor pits Mjolnir on top of Loki, so he can't move. Thor's trying to figure out what to do, so he picks up Loki.
That's always been one of my favorite parts about Mjolnir, that only Thor can pick it up. So it's just literally a trap for anything else.
It's perfect. It's great.
Although I'm confused. Is it the hammer can't be picked up because it's magic, or because it's just too heavy for everyone else? Because if it's a weight thing, it would go crush right through Loki.
No, it's a worthy thing. It's the worthiness.
Yeah, I know, but like, how does the magic work? Does it make it too heavy for anyone else?
Yeah.
How too heavy for anyone else to pick it up? Or how does that work? That's all. So it's like, always like, how come it doesn't go right through his chest if it's so heavy?
It's situational to what the writers need at the moment. That's what I think. That's the curse.
That's the nerdy comic book side of me coming out.
Because at that point, it should be falling through reality forever.
Yeah, like that's my point. I'm like,
It should be like in Portal, which just keeps going through the holes forever.
But no, it wouldn't fall through reality if the magic is there to make it too heavy for people to pick up. It would only affect the person trying to pick it up. You know what I mean? It doesn't affect.
But then at that point, it's a pointless hammer because they can't destroy or kill or hurt things. Like it's supposed to be.
But only Thor can pick it up because the magic doesn't affect him.
But then, like, how strong is it then at that point? Like you're saying, like where's his peak?
Well, it's made from it's like adamantium. It's a very strong thing imbued with magic. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess.
I don't know. It's a stupid thing.
It's comic book stuff. So anyway, Thor picks back up Mjolnir, and he's like, "I got the solution." And he starts destroying the bridge that are on, and he destroys it, which stops the connection part to overload the thing. He stops Loki's plan, but at the cost of not being able to go back to Earth and hook up with Jane for booty calls.
Except apparently Loki knows how to do it. So.
Yes, which he does, because now Loki's like, "Oh, okay, yeah." And then when the bridge is destroyed, Loki and Thor are hanging on to it. Odin comes in like, "I gotta save you guys."
Because they're gonna fall into space, apparently, because apparently space exists at the edge of that bridge.
Yes. How does this all work? It's weird stuff. And Loki's like, "Father, I could have done it all for us." And Odin's like, "Not like this." And Loki's like, "You, Dad."
I do like the family dynamics, because it doesn't, like, even though Loki's the bad guy here, Thor and Odin are still trying to save him. You know what I mean? That is their family still, despite everything. I do like that.
And I like that Loki's, even though he's a bad guy, is kind of like, I get why he's doing his things. Like, he's not justified, but I get why he's doing the things. So I think more of this stuff would have been like more enjoyable for me, at least. I can't speak for everybody, but for me, I'm like, I need more of that in my life. So Loki's like, I hate this family. I'm pissing out.
Which is funny because you've established that you don't like Loki.
I don't like Loki. I don't like Loki just for the fact I hated that he was the villain that has to live because he's the one that people like and gravitate towards, and that's the one that like Marvel decided to be like, this is the guy.
I don't think Marvel decided that. I think the fans decided that.
Yeah, but like, with all the other villains that they could have had.
Who was the first villain in Iron Man?
Pointless, exactly. Obadiah, whatever his name was.
I'm just saying, you can't even remember his bad guy name.
Exactly. So like, I just think they should have like Mandarin. We get a rip off of that. Like thanks Marvel.
So Loki wins by default.
Yeah, that's why I don't like him. Like he wins by default because like, oh, Loki's the best villain because he's got no other options.
Because he is.
It's like saying the Joker's the best.
Technically, he still is the best villain.
Because he has to, because there's no other villain for them to pick from.
Well,
like, at least the Joker kind of earns his title because it's the Joker.
Well, the Joker is the best villain because he's the best villain.
Exactly.
In a slew of great villains.
Exactly. And I think that's justifiable. Loki's like, I'm the best because no one's like me, because they don't write anyone like you.
But just because there's no competition doesn't mean he's still a great villain.
Yeah,
in his own right. he's still a good villain, so you shouldn't hold that against the character
I'm
because
going to hold it
of
against them.
Marvel's incompetence.
I will. It's my hatred for their incompetence in that part. They're so good at so many other things, and they fail at the villain part.
And they create a good villain, and now you hold that against them?
Yep.
That's a weird, stupid thing to have.
Because he's so good that he's got his own spin-off show after he dies. It's like the Boba Fett shit. Like, he's such a fan servicey fun character. Let's make more of it. Like, or just make better villains so we have more options.
This is where we disagree. Options. See, I like more stuff, so
I don't like more stuff with the same shit because there's like plot armor.
But it's not like Loki's the only show that they made, so it's like
it's not. But like, I feel like the plot armor is so heavy for that character now. It's like, oh, it's fan favorite. He's got to live now more so. I was like, ugh.
It's comic books. They're all gonna live.
I know, so I don't care about this stuff, TJ. Anyway, Loki falls to his death. Loki falls into the end.
I guess that's not true. I guess Iron Man's dead now.
Yeah, Killmonger's dead. Like, he was a cool villain to me. Like, this
Killmonger's dead.
In the movie,
is he?
He died in Black Panther.
I don't think he died.
He died in Black Panther.
Did he?
Yep.
You sure?
Yep. Black Panther killed him. Got stabbed in the chest or something like that in the last fight scene. And he's like, I want to see my land, and just passes out and dies.
Did they show you his body at the end?
Say, I don't know, because they might have. They might bring him back.
If they didn't show a body, there's a chance he's still alive.
But they kept saying in like memory of the character, not the character, but like so they and in movies they're like, we're doing this for Killmonger for what he wanted, but we're doing it in a good way. So like they heavily allude that he's dead.
That doesn't mean he's dead.
And that's why his movies suck sometimes. Same thing. That's why nerd movies suck sometimes. Just kill the characters off, guys. If you're going to kill them off. But also, don't kill off bad guys who are likable.
You just
give me what I want.
Just
give me what I want, guy, dude. Okay. I know I'm being difficult. Anyway, Loki falls into the end credits scene, and now the bridge is not there, and Thor's like, "Oh no." Thor talks to his dad, like, "I get what you did. I'm better now, and like I will try to be better and a better son for you." Odin's like, "You are a better son. You're a great son. You learned your lesson," and shit like that. And he goes to Heimdall, and Heimdall's like, "Can I see Earth? Is she still doing good?" He's like, "Yeah. She looks for you all the time. You guys love each other. You guys didn't really have any connection. It's just badly written characters."
You didn't say that at all.
What?
You didn't even classify that right.
What I miss?
You didn't miss anything. You just added a bunch of unnecessary things.
Because their romance is stupid. I don't care for the romance.
He pretty much goes to Heimdall and says, "Can you see her?" She says yes, and he asks how she doing, and she says she looks for you.
Yeah, she's searching for you. Yeah.
But you added all that other unnecessary stuff that they even said.
Because I don't believe their romance is real. I don't like that.
Why?
Because it's like, she's pretty, he's good looking, and like
have you seen how most relationships start in the real world?
Yeah, but
it's usually based off of that.
I know, but like that's all it took for them to be like lovers now. Like, he keeps chasing her for all these movies. Like, come on, that's bullshit.
He doesn't chase her for all these movies.
Well, because she's not in the movies because of bad writing.
No, in the fourth movie, which you didn't see, they established that they were a thing and then they broke up.
I know, but that's like retconning shit. So of the movies I've seen so far,
no, because I think in Avengers,
I don't know. Yeah,
I think in Avengers, they ask where Jane is, and he's like, "We broke up."
Yes.
Or no, one of the Avengers. Yeah, we broke up.
Sure.
He said.
Yeah, I know he does mention that. Yes.
So yeah.
I get why they broke up because I don't think they're really a thing. Like,
well, yeah.
Anyways, so credits roll. We get to the end credit sequence, and we see Nick Fury talk. He invites Professor in, like, "Hey, Professor, this blue thing could give us a lot of power.
That shouldn't be here.
Yeah, we'll somehow fix this continuity or not. The nerds don't care." But who's actually the professor? It's Loki controlling Professor in a reflection.
Is this scene in Avengers? I think it's actually in the movie.
Not this scene, but this does happen in the movie.
Yeah, not like I'm saying. Oh, I guess this. Yeah, isn't this exact scene in the movie?
I don't think so.
I'm pretty sure this exact scene's in the movie.
It could be, but I don't think it is.
I think the scene is yeah, I think so.
I don't know. But that's the movie, guys. That's Thor. Whew. And yeah, that's a movie. What'd you think, TJ?
I liked it. It was better this time around.
It was better this time around. I will admit that. It was definitely better this time around after seeing all the movies.
Yeah, it was definitely much better this time around.
But I still believe it does suffer from it being just a setup movie.
Yeah, it's not a perfect movie by any means.
No.
It doesn't take away my enjoyment from it like it did you, though.
Yeah. No. I still enjoyed it. I was just critical of this movie. So what are you giving this, TJ? Or should I rate it first?
You can rate it first.
I'm gonna give this a 5 out of 10.
As the movie itself, or just as a connective tissue? Like we said, we're going to do this 2 scores.
As the movie itself, it's an okay. Okay. As the movie itself, it's like a 4. There's a lot of things I didn't like about it. It's like this could have been a better movie as a whole. But as a connective thing, probably it's a 7. It's definitely a highly enjoyable 7. Connecting, like, okay, I see where they're going with this. I see what they're doing. It's a good piece of the domino puzzle. It's a good piece of the domino set.
Okay, I'm actually higher than you on the movie itself. I'm at a 5.
Okay.
It's an average movie, but I'm actually lower on you with the connective tissues. I'm at a 6.
Really?
Yeah.
So the scores equal. So 7 and 4. What's that? 11. I give like a 5.5. It's like about the same, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's the same averages,
Yeah.
except
different things. Yeah.
Yeah, but.
That's it. Any reasons why you give it like that, or no?
Well, I think it's an average movie on its own. So that's why I got a 5, and it's fine. But like, it's still just an establishing movie, even with all the connective tissues. It's like, okay, but you're still only telling me the first part of this movie, so I'm not like super excited. It's not gonna make me come back to this movie until the next movie comes out. You know what I mean?
Definitely not. But this is definitely a movie of the movies. I would definitely say if you're going to watch the Avengers, you should definitely watch this, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, technically, if you're going to watch the Avengers movie, you should just probably watch the full Phase 1.
You don't kind of have to, I guess.
You don't need to watch Hulk.
But thinking about it, I don't think you need to watch any of them. Like, if you want maximum enjoyment, watch them and all in the end credit scene. But I think if you just watch the Avengers, you might be just fine, honestly.
You could just watch the Avengers on its own. It's a fun movie on its own, but like if you don't know who the characters are, watching Iron Man 2 and Iron Man will show you who Tony Stark is, Associated Thor is, Captain America show you who Captain America is, and why they're coming together is a big deal.
I guess
Hulk too, but not really, because that's weird. Anyway.
That's what I'm saying. So I think if you see it by itself, there's more character development you enjoy, and like you see more payoffs, but it could hold on its own, I think, Avengers movie.
It can hold on its own, but I think the established universe, it's like watching Ghostbusters 2 without seeing Ghostbusters. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's doable, but you definitely get more enjoyment the other way around.
Yeah, you're definitely gonna like you get what's going on in here and who these characters are, but you'll know who these characters are better and what they're really about if you watch that first one.
Well, I'm gonna say that I think Avengers, of the team up movies, the first Avengers is the one you can watch by itself. All the other team up movies like Civil War, Avengers 2, you need to watch other stuff to truly enjoy them. Like this one, you don't need to watch the pre-stuff.
Well, actually, I kind of disagree though, because Loki's the villain in the Avengers movie, and you don't know why he's so pissed at everybody unless you know unless you've seen this movie.
Yeah, but I think if you just go in thinking, well, you see, in the Avengers movie, we set up that Thor and Loki are, because it sets up everything again. Like we see that Thor and Loki are brothers, and Thor's there to take Loki back.
Yeah, but if we were reviewing that movie by itself without all of that, we were like, this is too rushed. We need this to breathe.
Maybe. I'm curious now. I wonder. I remember seeing it at the time. It didn't feel like it was rushed.
Like Thor just shows up out of nowhere. Loki's my brother. Here I am now. I'm an Avenger now.
Yeah, true. That's true. We'll see, I guess, huh?
Yeah.
Anyways, that was Thor. Yeah. You want to say anything fun?
No, just stop.